Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. I, the abandoned son of my family, have awakened double S-level powers. Chapter 41. After eating, Yi Chen went directly back to the hotel and took out the calming stone from the energy storage bracelet. Ding, an item containing a large number of power points has been detected. Do you want to absorb it? Yes. The calming stone disappeared from Yi Chen's hand. Punch and panel. Host, Yi Chen. Realm, Warrior Level 2. Powers, Meteor Divine Thunder S Level, Divine Brewing Gourd S Level, Rapidity C Level. Kung Fu, 9 Nether Thunder Ju S Level. Combat Skills, Thunder Dragon Breaking Sky Strike, Small Success, 7 Star Steps, High Success, Instant Shadow, High Success. Power Points, 510,000. Training Time, 0. Added 500,000 power points. Yi Chen opened his mouth wide. You must know that it only takes 1 million power points to evolve an S-level power, so wouldn't it be possible to evolve it just by adding one piece? Yi Chen laughed so hard that he went directly to the Chu Chamber of Commerce to buy a tranquilizing stone, but the system did not prompt him. It seems that the piece I absorbed before is not an ordinary soothing stone. If you want to get it again later, it will only depend on luck. This piece is just right to make a necklace for Qingyao. Yi Chen was lying on the bed in the hotel, holding the calming stone he bought from the Chu Chamber of Commerce for 800,000 yuan. System, how many ability points do you need to quickly upgrade from C level to S level? 400,000 power points. Oh, there's such a big difference. Upgrading to S level costs 1 million, but upgrading from C to S costs less than half. System, upgrade the speed to S level for me. Suddenly, Yi Chen felt that the small black ball in his dantian, which represented the speed, suddenly surged. It has grown from the size of sesame seeds to the size of walnuts, and the other two groups are white and purple, forming a tripartite force. Ding, the ability is quickly upgraded to a shadow. Yi Chen lay on the bed and closed his eyes. Yi Chen's body gradually turned dark, disappeared on the bed, and then appeared in the bathroom. Yi Chen in the mirror was completely black, wearing a wide hood, and half of his face was covered by a black ghost face, which made him look a little sinister. Yi Chen dispersed the source energy, and then the dark aura disappeared, and Yi Chen returned to normal. It's so strong. Not only is the speed bonus much better than the haste, but the most important thing is that it also has the ability to blend into the shadows. This is simply the Emperor of the Night. Yi Chen's eyes lit up. This ability is tailor-made for assassins, and it has a strong life-saving ability. From now on, Yi Chen will dare to go out of the city at night. Moreover, this power also comes with the ability to hide one's identity. Yi Chen touched his chin. How about practicing a trumpet in the future? Just in case of emergencies. Yi Chen thought carefully. If Yi Chen has 2 identities, it will be easier for Yi Chen to do things in the future. If 3 powers were revealed, Yi Chen would probably become the target of public criticism, so it would be better to split it into 2 identities to distract some attention for himself. If there are 2 identities, the weapons will also need to be changed. I will look at other weapons later. A dagger should be suitable, so I will create the second identity as it is now. Soon, the time for the auction came, and Yi Chen also set out for the Chu Chamber of Commerce. As soon as I entered the door, I saw Shui Xiaofan wearing a cheongsam. She lost her innocence and shyness in the morning and turned into a mature and dignified beauty. Shui Xiaofan saw Yi Chen from a distance. He was not embarrassed as he imagined and walked towards Yi Chen gracefully. You're here. Manager Zhao has already prepared the room for you. I'll take you there, Shui Xiaofan said with a professional smile. Okay, Yi Chen nodded. Yi Chen could feel that Shui Xiaofan was not as enthusiastic as before, and there was a sense of distance between his gestures and gestures. But this suits Yi Chen's wishes, and it's good to just treat them as ordinary friends. The 2 of them went directly to the 2nd floor. There were 10 private rooms on the entire 2nd floor. Yi Chen went to the 3rd private room. I'll send you here. If you need anything later, just ask me. I'll leave first. Okay, Yi Chen agreed. Shui Xiaofan is also one of the top salesmen in the Chu Chamber of Commerce. It is impossible for her to accompany Yi Chen here. She also has to go down to entertain other customers. If she is really with Yi Chen may also feel uncomfortable. Yi Chen glanced at the layout of this room, which was decorated in an antique style. Although it is not very big, it is beautifully decorated and has 2 seats right in front of the window. You can just see the whole scene on the first floor. The glass of this window is also specially made, so you can't see the inside from the outside. Yi Chen sat on the Taishi chair, and soon a waiter came, also dressed in cheongsong. However, it was obviously not as refined as Shui Xiaofan's and not as good-looking as Shui Xiaofan's. It was specially made for Yi Chen to make tea and ask for the price. Yi Chen also enjoyed the treatment of a rich man. Yi Chen just drank tea and waited quietly without talking to the waiter. Yi Chen didn't want to have any more peach blossoms. After waiting for about 10 minutes, the auction officially began. Under the focus of many eyes, a woman wearing a red cheongsong walked onto the auction stage. Her figure is plump, her steps are graceful, and every movement exudes sultry charm. The audience sitting on the first floor suddenly became restless, as if the air was filled with her unique fragrance. Her eyes swept across the crowd gently, and the corners of her lips were slightly raised, like a blooming rose, instantly igniting everyone's hearts. Hello everyone, I am today's auctioneer Meng Qi. First of all, I would like to welcome you all. I believe that everyone can't wait, so I won't say any more nonsense and will start with the first auction item. She spoke with a delicate voice and attracted a large audience as soon as she opened her mouth. I saw a staff member carrying a plate and covering it with a red cloth, walking onto the auction stage. Meng Qi gently opened the red cloth, revealing 2 bottles, which seemed to be some kind of medicine. This is the first auction item today, 2 light spiriting potions. The starting price is 200,000, and the price will be increased by no less than 1,000 each time. Let's start bidding. Pharmacists are also a popular profession in this world. Although the Federal Mall will also sell medicines, they are only medicines produced by the public. Some rare potions are sold out as soon as they are put on the shelves, and demand is always in short supply. For example, the lightness potion in front of you is a kind of rare potion, which can increase the general speed by 20% within 15 minutes. Don't underestimate the 20% speed. At some critical moments, the 20% speed is enough to save lives. It's not bad to use this thing to start the show, and the atmosphere in the venue is also ignited. Number 110, 250,000 federal coins. Number 350, 270,000 federal coins. There were people bidding constantly in the field, and it was all people on the first floor who were bidding, and no one on the second floor took action. In the end, these 2 light elixirs were auctioned for 800,000, and Yi Chen smacked his lips secretly. It's really expensive. A bottle of body tempering potion only costs 200,000 yuan. This lightness potion is worth 400,000 yuan a bottle, and it's also a consumable. The items in the next auction are all things that Yi Chen is not interested in, basically some potions and relatively rare exotic animal materials. However, there was something that refreshed Yi Chen's outlook on things. It was a white cloak. The whole cloak was decorated with a feather called the white smoke bird. Moreover, each white-eyed bird only takes the 5 softest feathers at the base of its wings, and a white-eyed bird can only take 10 feathers. I don't know how many white-eyed birds were needed to complete this one. In the end, the cloak was bought by someone on the second floor for a high price of 10 million. This price made Yi Chen feel ashamed. He could only buy 1 cloak with the money he had. I used to think that I was already a small rich man, but I didn't expect that my net worth was nothing more than a cloak in the eyes of others. There are still many rich people in this world, Yi Chen can't help but sigh. The next item is the long-awaited item that can improve your qualifications. Meng Qi's charming voice ignited the atmosphere of the scene. Don't delay, let's get started. Someone below was already impatient. Then, little lady, I won't waste everyone's time. The next item to be auctioned is the Konoha flower. Meng Qi opened the red cloth covering it, revealing a transparent box inside. I don't know what kind of material the box is made of. It looks a bit like crystal clear, and has some exquisite patterns on it. What was placed inside was Yi Chen's Konoha flower. Against the background of the box, the Konoha flower looked even better. But it doesn't matter whether it looks good or not, what everyone values is its effectiveness. That box should have a certain fresh keeping function, and it shouldn't be cheap either. What? It's just a Konoha flower. The possibility of this thing improving your qualifications is probably very slim. That's right, I thought it was something good. Someone below started to become dissatisfied. Yi Chen was also a little nervous. What they said was true. Konoha actually only had a certain chance of improving her qualifications. And because there is no chance in the Federation that Konoha can improve qualifications, after all, there are too few such things, and there is a lack of data comparison. Although there is only a certain chance, this is a treasure that can improve your qualifications. Maybe you will be the chosen one. Meng Qi was worthy of being the chief auctioneer of the Chu Chamber of Commerce, and she brought the scene back with just one sentence. That's right, just because there is a certain chance, a normal person would expect that he would be the one who can improve his qualifications. Those who had spoken before also fell silent. Furthermore, everyone knows that items that can improve qualifications are rare and almost impossible to find. Everyone should think carefully. If you miss this time, you won't know when it will be available next time. Quote. Meng Qi took advantage of the victory and pursued it, explaining the rarity of Konoha flowers. As soon as these words came out, the people at the scene were all excited, and their eyes were filled with fire. Meng Qi saw that the atmosphere was up and said directly, the starting price of Konoha is 8 million, and each increase must not be less than 100,000. Let's start bidding. Yi Chen was also surprised when he heard the starting price. According to the pricing rules of Chu's auction, the starting price is generally set at about 1/5 of the estimated value. In this way, some people with less financial resources will participate in the bidding at the beginning and heat up the atmosphere. Zhao Hai told him before that the value of the Konoha flower was about 20 million, and the starting price should be 4 million. Unexpectedly, the starting price was set directly at 8 million. What Yi Chen didn't know was that Zhao Hai was only talking about the value of the Konoha flower itself. If the rarity is added, or if someone happens to match the wood attribute, the price will be much higher than this. No, 150, 8.3 million. The man who had previously said that Konoha was not worth it began to bid. I want to take a picture of this. Didn't you say the chance is slim? What else are you taking? No, 156, 8.8 million. A burly man sitting not far from him directly increased the price by 500,000. Humph, I want you to take care of it, number 150, 9 million. The man snorted coldly, and then increased the price. He also wanted to bet on the possibility. After all, qualifications were related to the future. If it could really be improved, it would be worth spending any amount of money. This was just a small episode in this auction. When Yi Chen heard the sound of increasing prices, the smile on his face never stopped. He is different from others. As long as he has enough power points, his qualifications can be infinitely improved. There is no need to gamble on this chance. Gradually, the number of people still participating in the bidding gradually decreased, and the price reached 10 million. Number 2, 13 million. At this moment, a voice sounded from next door to Yi Chen. The scene instantly became quiet, and everyone on the first floor looked up at the private room on the second floor. The price increase was 3 million yuan at a time, which was a big deal. I must take a photo of this and give it to Warner. A man with long hair and a feminine face said confidently in private room number 2. If he hadn't had an Adam's apple, others might have thought he was a woman. Number 5, 15 million. Just when he was still determined to win, a voice sounded next. Humph, who is against me? The feminine man looked gloomy and slammed the table, and cracks appeared on the wooden table. The woman making tea next to her was a little frightened, but she didn't dare to say anything. She can't offend anyone who can sit on the second floor. If someone accidentally did something wrong, they might die without knowing it, and the Chu Chamber of Commerce would never offend these sponsors for them. Give me another 2 million. The woman quickly picked up something similar to a microphone and said, Number 2, 17 million. At this time, Yi Chen couldn't help but tighten his hand on the teacup. Is this the world of rich people? Don't treat money as money. While Yi Chen was still sighing, Number 2 and Number 5 had already raised the price to 27 million. The price has increased by more than 10 million, and no one on the first floor is bidding anymore. Now this Konoha flower has become a competition between two people. The feminine man looked extremely pale at the moment. Don't let me know who you are, or I'll ask my father to kill you. The feminine man is called Zhao Ming, who is 2 years older than Yi Chen but is only a 7th level warrior. But he has a father who is a peak military commander, so he is rarely provoked by anyone who is domineering in this station. But of course it's only on the 1st and 2nd streets. If it's on the 3rd street, if he is arrogant, I'm afraid his father will suffer as well. He originally wanted to take a photo of this Konoha flower and give it to a woman he was pursuing. Who would have thought that a roadblock would appear halfway through and the price would more than double? He gritted his teeth, grabbed the thing from the waiter next to him, and said loudly, "Number 2, bid 30 million, brother, why don't you give the Konoha flower to me, Zhao Ming, as if I owe you a favor?" 30 million was already the bottom line in his mind, so he had to let go of his name, hoping that the person would be wise enough not to bid against him. After Zhao Ming said these words, the entire scene became quiet. In fact, the Chu Chamber of Commerce was somewhat dissatisfied with Zhao Ming's actions. If he didn't use his power to overwhelm others, the price would probably go up. But the Chu Chamber of Commerce didn't say anything after all, still unwilling to offend Zhao Ming. Zhao Ming's father, Zhao Hao, is now at the peak of his military career and has half a foot in the presence of King Wu. In fact, the Chu family wouldn't care if they were just ordinary generals. The main reason is that Zhao Hao has a good team of warriors, and some of the strange beasts he hunts are sold to the Chu Chamber of Commerce. And the quality of things has always been good, which is a rare source of goods. Even if there is a small loss in this auction, the loss is nothing compared to losing this source of supply. 30 million once, 30 million twice. Meng Qi's face did not show any fluctuation due to Zhao Ming's words, and she still had a professional smile. Just when everyone thought Konoha was about to fall into Zhao Ming's bag. Even Zhao Ming felt the same way, and a voice broke the situation. Number 1, bid 35 million. The bid was directly increased by 5 million. Number 1 had never participated in this auction before. This was his first bid in the entire auction, and the price was 35 million. Number 1 bids 35 million, is there anyone who wants to increase the bid? Meng Qi's smile grew even brighter at this time. The higher the Konoha flower hits in her hand, the higher her bonus will be, which is all drawn. You really don't want to give me Zhao Ming this face. At this time, Zhao Ming was so angry that his voice became louder. Your face, how much is your face worth? Even if Zhao Hao is here, he wouldn't dare to talk to me like this. A powerful voice came from private room number 1. When Zhao Ming heard this, he did not continue to threaten. Anyone who can say his father's name in public without being afraid on such an occasion is either an idiot or someone he really can't afford to offend. Although Zhao Ming is domineering, he is not stupid, otherwise he would not have been so arrogant for so long without any accidents. Then after the auction is over, let me see who you are. If it's true that I can't afford to offend you, fine. If not, then don't blame me for being rude. Zhao Ming murmured with a gloomy face. In the end, the Konoha flower was snapped up by room number 1 for a high price of 35 million. Yi Chen didn't care who took the photo of the Konoha flower, he only knew that he had made a fortune. For the next auction, Yi Chen spent 1.5 million to buy a Thunder Potion. Thunder Potion can increase the training speed of Thunder System users for half a month, which is considered a good thing. Originally, Yi Chen should have been able to take the photo for less than 1 million. After all, there are very few people with powers who have awakened the Thunder System. But unfortunately, there happened to be a person on the first floor who was a Thunder type, so the price was a little higher. But since Yi Chen had the 35 million, he didn't care about it anymore, as long as he got the stuff. The final highlight is 1,000 Mountains Dragon Ginseng, which is a rare natural treasure and a material for making some rare potions. Even if eaten raw, it can improve the following 2 realms of military commanders. Of course, the greatest effect of Qinshan Longshan is not here. If it is made by some top pharmacists, it can make a life-extending potion that increases lifespan. How many years it can be extended depends on the pharmacist's ability. In the end, this Qinshan Dragon Ginseng was bought by number 1 at a high price of 40 million, which is considered a reasonable price. Zhao Ming did not deliberately raise the price because of Konoha number 1's interference. Konoha can be sold for 35 million, which is indeed a lot of premium. Normally, it can be sold for 25 million. After number 1 took the photo of Qinshan Dragon Ginseng, Zhao Ming was even more sure that number 1 was something he couldn't afford to offend. He spent 75 million casually, there is no way he could be a nobody. He was not stupid enough to ask the Chu Chamber of Commerce to verify capital. Knowing that that person could sit in private room 1 undoubtedly meant that that person's status was above him. Logically speaking, Yi Chen couldn't sit in the number 3 private room. He was in the number 3 private room only because of the attention of Konoha and Zhao Hai. After the auction ended, people on the first floor also began to leave. Yi Chen planned to ask Zhao Hai to help him process the calming stone he bought before and make it into a necklace for Yi Qingyao. As soon as Yi Chen went out, he saw Zhao Ming waiting at the door next door. Although he had determined that the person in private room number 1 was certainly not ordinary, he was still a little unwilling to give up until he saw the real person. Then he saw Yi Chen walking out of private room number 3, and he was a little surprised. At least he had never seen Yi Chen before at the station. However, he didn't think much about it. He glanced at Yi Chen and stopped paying attention. At this time, the person in private room 1 finally came out, and a man with gray hair and a lot of hair came out. The man looked older than he was, but he was tall for his age. The skin was not as loose as that of the old man, so Yi Chen was not sure how old the man was. Behind the man was a girl of similar age to him. The girl had short, shiny black hair and a pair of green eyes with a strange brilliance, adding a sense of mystery to her already charming appearance. The girl is wearing a green dress, like a blooming flower, swaying in the wind, which is eye-catching. When Zhao Ming saw the two of them, his pupils shrank slightly and he quickly clasped his fists and saluted. It turns out to be Master Wu. I didn't know it was you, Master, and I made rude remarks just now. It's really my fault. I hope Master will give you a favor and have dinner with me so that I can apologize to you. The man just glanced at Zhao Ming and did not continue to make things difficult. He said contemptuously, "There is no need to eat. Just don't be blind in the future." Zhao Ming breathed a sigh of relief and responded repeatedly. He never thought that the person in front of him would actually agree to eat with him, it was just a courtesy. His status as a celebrity is not high enough for others, so as long as he doesn't hate himself, scold himself or even hit himself, it doesn't matter to him. "Qingwan, what's wrong with you?" Zhao Ming raised his head and asked cautiously. The short-haired woman behind the man said softly, "Don't call me Qingwan, my name is Mu Qingwan, and now I am Master Wu's registered disciple." Zhao Ming's pupils shrank, and he was a little surprised after receiving the confirmed news. He said sarcastically, "Oh, our two families are family friends. I just took pictures of Konoha flowers just to give them to you. I didn't expect that a flood would destroy the Dragon King Temple." "No need, the teacher bought it just for me," Mu Qingwan said coldly. Zhao Ming did not continue to say anything. Mu Qingwan was born in the Mu family. Her father and Zhao Hao were once in the same team, but later Zhao Hai and Mu Tianhua both chose to start their own companies. However, the relationship between the two families has always been relatively good, and Mu Qingwan awakened the B-level wood spirit pupil. He is very talented in making potions and is beautiful. Zhao Ming naturally favors Mu Qingwan, but it seems that Mu Qingwan is not interested in him. Mu Qingwan liked to play with Zhao Ming when she was a child, but as she grew up, Zhao Ming became more and more domineering and arrogant. Moreover, his private life is still chaotic. He is obviously good-looking, but now he is almost turning into a young man with a weak kidney. Mu Qingwan naturally keeps away from him. And Zhao Ming only took a fancy to her appearance and family background. The most important thing is his unique talent in making potions. When it comes to feelings, there may be a little bit, but not much. Facing Zhao Ming's harassment before, Mu Qingwan was a little helpless. After all, neither her father nor Zhao Hao interfered in the matter. According to their words, children and grandchildren will have their own blessings, and Mu Qingwan has always suffered from this. But now that I have become a disciple of Master Wu, the situation is different. Even if he is only a named disciple, he is still quite important. The person Zhao Ming calls Master Wu is named Wu Di, and he is the top pharmacist in Yuling City. Now he is a pharmacist at the peak of the 5th level, corresponding to the level of a superpower user, which is the peak of the king of martial arts. The name Wu Di was given to himself by himself. Although he has a very high talent as a pharmacist, he only yearns for martial arts, but he also has the training of a military general. So even though his hair is gray, those muscles are not just for show. In addition, he himself is a top pharmacist, and he has resources at his fingertips. The resources he has spent on his martial arts over the years are enough to create 10 martial arts kings. So on the other hand, his martial arts talent is indeed a bit terrible. But no one in the entire Yuling city dared to look down upon him or deny him face. Pharmacists are rarer than warriors, and everyone's cultivation is inseparable from the support of pharmaceuticals. Especially after reaching high-level warriors, the effect of potions becomes even greater. After Zhao Ming learned that Mu Qingwan had been accepted as a registered disciple by Wu Di, Zhao Ming could only smile helplessly. Wu Di was indeed right. Even if his father Zhao Hao was sitting here today, he would not dare not give him Wu Di face, and would even take photos of Konoha flowers and give them to him. Yi Chen originally wanted to watch the fun, but when he saw that there was no fun to watch, he was about to turn around and leave. Wait, Mu Qingwan's voice came from behind. Yi Chen turned around and looked to the side. Seeing that there was no one else around, he pointed at himself and said, "Me." Mu Qingwan slowly walked up to Yi Chen and asked with a touch of arrogance, "Are you Yi Chen?" Yi Chen found it interesting. He didn't expect that there were people here who knew him. If I didn't have the same name, I think I should be that Yi Chen. I wonder what this young lady wants to do with me. Yi Chen did not appear to be groveling just because Wu Di was here. Yi Chen knew that Mu Qingwan's arrogance came from Wu Di. Mu Qingwan saw that Yi Chen was neither humble nor arrogant, nor was he angry. "It's nothing, I just want to see what kind of person Yuntian can talk about all day long." Yi Chen's expression remained unchanged. "Really? I didn't expect that my cousin misses me so much, but I believe we will meet soon. It seems that you are very confident, so I am looking forward to your performance. I hope that you, the abandoned son of the Yi family, can bring us some surprises." With a playful smile, Mu Qingwan deliberately emphasized the words, "abandoned son of the Yi family." "It seems that you have a good relationship with my cousin, and you can actually recognize me. I'm afraid only the Yi family remembers me the most in Yuling City." Yi Chen responded with a faint smile, but did not lose his sense because of Mu Qingwan's ridicule. "But the brother over there seems to have a close relationship with Miss Mu. He wants to take a photo of the Konoha flower and give it to you. I wonder what would happen if my cousin knew about it." Yi Chen clicked deliberately. Zhao Ming. Mu Qingwan and Yi Chen's uncle's son Yi Yuntian were both from No. 1 middle school, and they had a good relationship. To be precise, Mu Qingwan liked Yi Yuntian. In Mu Qingwan's eyes, Yi Yuntian is very talented and is the only heir to the Wuzun family in Yuling City. He respects Zhao Ming in every aspect and is a good partner. I don't know if Yi Yuntian thinks the same way. After all, in Yi Yuntian's eyes, Mu Qingwan only has talent that can catch his eye. It was precisely because of the relationship between the two that Mu Qingwan knew Yi Chen's appearance and recognized Yi Chen. However, he was still a little surprised that Yi Chen could come out of private room 3. From what she knew about the situation, Yi Chen was helpless and had only one close friend named Chu Tian. "My surname is also Chu. Is it related to the Chu Chamber of Commerce? Otherwise, how could he come out of private room 3? It seems to be related." Yi Chen didn't know that Mu Qingwan had already labeled him as a related household in her heart. "Zhao Ming and I just have a normal relationship. Even if Yuntian knows about it, it won't matter." Mu Qingwan's face looked a little ugly at this time. With the Yi family's family background, they would never allow the wife of the future heir to have an unclear relationship. "Oh, it turns out we are just ordinary friends." Yi Chen deliberately lengthened his voice and looked at Zhao Ming with a playful expression. Mu Qingwan's words fell into Zhao Ming's ears intact. Zhao Ming's face was so dark at this moment that he was almost dripping with water. He had done a lot for Mu Qingwan in the past 2 years. Mu Qingwan has always accepted it calmly and has not refused. Her attitude was quite good before, but she ignored him later. When he saw Wu Di before, Zhao Ming thought that Mu Qingwan gained confidence because he was accepted by Wu Di as his disciple. Unexpectedly, it was because I caught a golden turtle. Fortunately, there are only a few of them here. If there were others, where would he put Zhao Ming's face? Why should he be called a licker? I hope you can be as sharp-tongued as you are now when you take the college entrance examination. Mu Qingwan was a bit defensive. Then I also hope that Miss Mu, your martial arts skills are as strong as your fishing skills. Yi Chen showed no sign of weakness. At first, Mu Qingwan didn't understand what Yi Chen meant by fishing. It took a moment to react, and he suddenly became angry, and then slapped Yi Chen. Yi Chen moved lightly and avoided the slap, saying, "It seems that I hit the right spot." Miss Mu is so excited. You're looking for death. At this time, Mu Qingwan was not as calm as she was at the beginning. She directly activated her source energy and kicked Yi Chen with a whip leg. It looked like it was some kind of combat skill. Yi Chen used the 7-star step and dodged directly, still talking. They say the truth is the sharpest weapon. Miss Mu is so unprepared. Is she really fishing? My cousin has a bad temper. If he knows that you have such skill in raising fish, your hope of climbing a high tree will be shattered. Quote. By this time, Mu Qingwan was already furious. She took out a long sword from her energy storage bracelet and stabbed Yi Chen. According to Yi Chen's perception, Mu Qingwan should only be around the 6th level of awakening. Although it is far inferior to Yi Chen, it is already very fast among ordinary people. Moreover, what she awakened was not a combat talent. To be able to cultivate to the 6th level of awakening in such a short period of time, she should have taken a lot of potions. Yi Chen guessed right. If he practiced normally, Mu Qingwan would be able to awaken to the 4th level at most. She reached the 6th level of awakening after taking a lot of potions that improved her cultivation and speeded up her cultivation. The purpose is to do better in the college entrance examination, preferably in the same school as Yi Yuntian. After being exposed by Yi Chen, Mu Qingwan had lost her sense of control, and Wu Di just watched from the side without interfering. After all, Mu Qingwan was only a registered disciple. Originally, according to Mu Qingwan's talent, she would soon become a direct disciple. But now Mu Qingwan's performance all fell into Wu Di's eyes, which made Wu Di a little disappointed. Yi Chen's few words made Mu Qingwan lose his sense of control, but his mentality was still not stable enough. In fact, he didn't care about Mu Qingwan, Yi Yuntian or Zhao Ming's affairs. What he cared about was Mu Qingwan's heart. If you want to become a top pharmacist, Fu Jing's mentality is essential, and it is obvious that Mu Qingwan at this time is not calm at all. Mu Qingwan kept attacking Yi Chen with the long sword in his hand. Yi Chen only used Xiaocheng's 7-star steps, so these attacks could not hurt Yi Chen. Don't hide if you can, Mu Qingwan said angrily. At this time, her attacks had no structure and were all hacks and slashes. Yi Chen saw that his goal had been achieved. That's right. From the moment Mu Qingwan mocked Yi Chen's purpose was to make Mu Qingwan look embarrassed in the eyes of Wu enemy. So he deliberately provoked, but he didn't expect Mu Qingwan to be fooled so easily. After all, Wu Di, a pharmacist at the peak of the 5th level, is still very important. And he deliberately clicked Zhao Ming, not because he wanted to be friends with Zhao Ming, he just wanted to make Zhao Ming and Mu Qingwan go against each other. Yi Chen noticed a trace of disappointment in Wu Di's eyes, and he knew it was almost time. When Mu Qingwan slashed at Yi Chen again, Yi Chen did not dodge this time. Since it is Miss Mu's request, I will naturally satisfy you. Yi Chen stood there, raised his right foot and stamped on the ground, and a purple lightning shot out from under Yi Chen's feet. Directly knocking down the long sword in Mu Qingwan's hand, Mu Qingwan took a few steps back. Mu Qingwan stood still, a trace of blood flowed from the corner of his mouth, and his eyes were full of surprise. Yi Chen defeated himself with just one move. Doesn't it mean that Yi Chen didn't have any resources to support him? Mu Qingwan didn't know that Yi Chen had been specially recruited by Wudu University. Only a few people who were in the principal's office at the time knew the news. Not to mention that Feng Lian and Yi Chen had attacked the Yi family and taken a thunder bead from the Yi family. Yi Qingqing had already ordered that this information should not be spread outside. Naturally, it was impossible for Yi Yuntian to tell Mu Qingwan that family scandals should not be made public. Therefore, in Mu Qingwan's eyes, although Yi Chen has good talent, without resource support, there is no way he can surpass Yi Yuntian. But now it seems that this is not the case. Yi Chen's blow also made Mu Qingwan wake up, and cold sweat broke out from behind. Zhao Ming was also a little surprised when he saw Yi Chen knocking Mu Qingwan away with a casual blow. Although he could do it himself, he would never be as easy as Yi Chen. Moreover, he is a 7th level warrior. Judging from the conversation between Yi Chen and Mu Qingwan, Yi Chen is also a candidate who will take the college entrance examination this year. Such a young person has such strength, this person is not simple. Wu Di also looked at Yi Chen with interest. He also knew about the Yi family's abandoned son, but he didn't know the specific situation. Before, Feng Lian and Yi Chen attacked the Yi family, and some people in Yuling City knew about the battle between Feng Lian and Yi Qingqing. It's just that no one dares to get close. After all, the aftermath of a battle at the Wuzun level might kill them. Wu Di had a vague feeling that what happened that day might be related to the young man in front of him. However, this idea appeared in his mind for a moment and then disappeared. He shook his head. The battle that day was at the martial lord level. How could it be related to this young man? He immediately gave up the idea. Wu Di took a step forward, and a strong pressure fell on Yi Chen, who was instantly bent over. But this was just because Yi Chen was unprepared, and then Yi Chen used his energy to slowly stand up straight. I'm afraid it's inappropriate for Master Wu to intervene in the fight between the juniors' families. Yi Chen said in a neither humble nor overbearing tone, looking directly at Wu's enemy. I just like to bully juniors, so what can you do? Wu Di smiled, looking shameless. Yi Chen was speechless for a moment. He thought that a person like Wu Di was aloof, but he didn't expect that he turned out to be such a person without the demeanor of a master. Yi Chen had no choice but to carry it hard. At this time, Mu Qingwan looked happy. Thinking that Wu Di was taking action for him, he immediately raised his proud head and looked at Yi Chen proudly. How can Yi Chen still pay attention to Mu Qingwan now? He thought to himself. I thought that deliberately irritating Mu Qingwan would make Wu Bai and Mu Qingwan dissatisfied. It seems that he underestimated the importance that Wu Bai and Mu Qingwan attached to him. People's hearts are not easily controlled, only strength is. The pressure exerted by Wu Di increased little by little, and soon he reached the level of the peak warrior. At this time, the playful look on Wu Di's face had disappeared, and he became more serious. He didn't expect that the pressure of his warrior level would not make Yi Chen bend down. Is he already a martial artist? He has only been awakened for a long time, how can he be a martial artist? Wu Di was also a little puzzled for a moment. He didn't know why Yi Chen could withstand the pressure of his peak warrior. Mu Qingwan was able to reach the 6th level of awakening, and he took all the potions carefully prepared by himself. The potions he took at each stage were carefully customized. Although I haven't finished taking it yet, my cultivation speed is already ahead of many others. Even if Yi Chen had A-level powers, he would never be slower than him, not to mention that Yi Chen didn't have so many potions for him to take. For a moment, Wu Di was even more curious about him, and Wu Di gently shook his hand behind his back. Yi Chen suddenly felt that the pressure had increased several times, and he couldn't help but use his powers. I saw purple thunder and lightning flashing around Yi Chen, his hair fluttering, and his eyes showing a light purple. Zhao Ming and Mu Qingwan opened their mouths when they saw this scene. It turned out that Yi Chen's power was the thunder power with the strongest attack power. Mu Qingwan's face was a little red. She had tried her best to force Yi Chen's power out, and she wanted to tell Yi Yuntian the news. Yi Chen was a little helpless. He didn't want to reveal his superpower so early, but he didn't expect Cheng Yaojin to show up halfway, and something unexpected happened. Just when Yi Chen was about to use his combat skills, Wu Di put away his pressure. Yi Chen felt relaxed and breathed a long sigh of relief. Wu Di originally tried Yi Chen out of curiosity, but Yi Chen was too strong. It was only when the pressure was added to the martial arts master that he forced Yi Chen to use his superpowers. With the added pressure, his 5th-level pharmacist's face was really gone, so he put away the pressure. Yi Chen also realized that Wu Di did not want to kill him. Although he said that he did not care about bullying the younger one, he still cared about his own face. Otherwise, the pressure would not be increased bit by bit. If he really wanted to do something to Yi Chen, he would not be able to withstand even one move. Wu Di looked at Yi Chen with an inexplicable meaning. He didn't say anything and left directly. Mu Qingwan raised her proud head and followed Wu Di. Yi Chen shook his head and thought, this Mu Qingwan is really innocent. After Wu Di and Mu Qingwan left, only Yi Chen and Zhao Ming were left here. Zhao Ming glanced at Yi Chen meaningfully, and then walked towards Yi Chen. Hello, my name is Zhao Ming. I am the fish in my mouth. Please make friends. Zhao Ming stretched out his hand. Be friends with me. Aren't you afraid of the Yi family? The Yi family hates me to the core. Yi Chen said teasingly, standing motionless. Zhao Ming's hand hanging in the air was a little embarrassed, and he retracted his hand sarcastically. The Yi family can't embarrass me, a junior, because of such a trivial matter. The Wu Zun family is still somewhat tolerant. Zhao Ming was a little unsure. He really couldn't afford to offend the Yi family. If the Yi family really had the magnanimity of the Wu Zun family, then my life wouldn't have been so difficult these years. Yi Chen felt a little helpless. Although I really can't afford to offend the Yi family, you can ask me for help with anything in the future, as long as I don't go against the Yi family. Zhao Ming patted his thin chest and said confidently. Yi Chen was a little funny, but Zhao Ming was honest. Yi Chen ignored him and turned to leave. Then he waved his hand and said, then wait until I destroy the Yi family, and then you can come and make friends with me. Zhao Ming looked at Yi Chen's back and froze on the spot. What did he say? Destroy the Yi family. Zhao Ming couldn't believe his ears. The Yi family is the local emperor of the entire Yuling city, and Yi Chen actually said that he wanted to destroy the Yi family. Zhao Ming wanted to make friends with Yi Chen, but he actually felt that Yi Chen was quite capable and he was still so young, so he was worth making friends with. But he never thought that Yi Chen would subvert the Yi family, otherwise he wouldn't have said those words just now because he was afraid of the Yi family. Yi Chen's words caused quite a stir in Zhao Ming's heart. What a spirit. Zhao Ming was also infected by Yi Chen's heroic spirit. He thought Yi Chen was a young man with courage. Little did he know that when Yi Chen said this, he was just stating a fact. As soon as Yi Chen came downstairs, he met Zhao Hai walking over. Zhao Hai said with excitement, Yi Chen, you made a lot of money this time. I didn't expect that the Konoha flower could be sold for a high price of 35 million. I will pay you the money later. I didn't expect that all this would be thanks to Uncle Zhao's operation. Yi Chen thanked him. Zhao Hai didn't draw a single point, but Meng Qi's bonus was still paid by the auction house. Hearing Yi Chen's words, Zhao Hai's lips almost reached his ears. I have to say that Yi Chen really doesn't look like an 18-year-old in terms of human sophistication. By the way, Uncle Zhao, I still have a calming stone here. Can you help me process it into a necklace? I'll give it to my sister. Yi Chen took out the calming stone. What's the matter? Our Chu Chamber of Commerce has its own craftsman. I'll send it to him right now and I'll get it done for you tomorrow. Zhao Hai readily agreed. Yi Chen handed the calming stone in his hand to Zhao Hai. Thank you so much, Uncle Zhao. When the necklace is ready, I will almost go back to school. Are you going back? Go back a few days early to prepare for the college entrance examination. Yi Chen nodded. My memory has forgotten that you have just awakened and have to take the college entrance examination. Zhao Hai patted his forehead, mainly because Yi Chen's performance during this period did not look like a person who had just awakened. Then I wish you good luck in martial arts in advance. With your strength, you will definitely be able to make a splash in the college entrance examination. I will send it to you as soon as the necklace is ready. He didn't know Yi Chen's specific strength, and he didn't ask. But judging from the exotic beast materials that Yi Chen has sold in the past 2 days, even if he is not a warrior, he still has the combat power of a warrior. In the college entrance examination, those who can possess the strength of warriors are the top geniuses. Zhao Hai sighed a little. Maybe I will witness the rise of a generation of geniuses, or in this small Yuling city. Then I'll borrow Uncle Zhao's good advice, and I'll go back to the hotel first, just in time to pack my things. Okay, you go back first. Once the things are ready, I will send them to the hotel directly, so you don't have to come over. Go back early. The college entrance examination is the most important thing. Yi Chen nodded and was about to turn around and leave when he found Shui Xiaofan standing not far away. The two people's eyes collided. Shui Xiaofan's expression was a little complicated, but Yi Chen didn't feel any embarrassment. He waved to Shui Xiaofan, and Shui Xiaofan nodded in response. Shui Xiaofan knew that this was Yi Chen's farewell. By the way, Uncle Zhao, if it's convenient later, please take care of Sister Shui a little bit. She has helped me a lot during this time, Yi Chen said to Zhao Hai, who was about to leave. Okay, no problem. Zhao Hai showed a look that every man would understand. Yi Chen was a little speechless. He thought Zhao Hai was a serious person, but he didn't expect that he was not very serious either. Let's go. Yi Chen turned and left. Back at the hotel, Yi Chen's bracelet started ringing. After coming here for so long, Yi Chen hasn't contacted his family yet. When he returns to the hotel after work every day, he is so tired that he falls asleep. Yi Qingyao was probably afraid of disturbing his brother, so he hadn't contacted Yi Chen these days. Yi Chen was surprised that that boy Chudian didn't harass Yi Chen. Yi Chen clicked on the video, and a light curtain was projected on the bracelet, and the display on it contacted Yan Sheng. Yi Chen didn't expect this. Yi Chen nodded and accepted, and the picture of Yan Sheng appeared in the light screen. Yi Chen, how have you been practicing lately? Yan Sheng asked straight to the point. It's okay, no big problem. Have you broken through to the 5th level of awakening? Yan Sheng felt that with Yi Chen's talent, even if he didn't have many resources, he should be able to break through to the 5th level of awakening. Yi Chen nodded and did not tell his specific level, mainly because Yan Sheng didn't ask. Yan Sheng breathed a sigh of relief when he saw Yi Chen nodding. Then you should come to the school in 2 days. I will register your college entrance examination information. The school may also encounter some troubles and you may need to come forward. Yan Sheng looked a little serious. Okay, I happen to be outside right now. I'll go back tomorrow. When I get back, I'll come directly to school. Yi Chen nodded. When Yi Chen saw that Yan Sheng didn't explain what was going on, he didn't ask further. He would find out when he returned to school. And when he heard that Yi Chen had awakened to the 5th level, Yan Sheng's expression became more relaxed, and Yi Chen felt that it shouldn't be a big problem. After all, he is now a warrior. Although he is only a little Kurami, his vision is always higher than when he was in the awakening stage. After hanging up the phone, Yi Chen didn't call Yi Qingyao. He was going back tomorrow anyway, so it was just a surprise for her. Yi Chen was lying on the bed, holding the divine brewing gourd in his hand, and sipping the strength wine in small sips. Now Yi Chen has begun to get used to the pain caused by the energy drink. Yi Chen looked at the time and saw that it was only 6 o'clock. It's so early and I can't sleep. How about taking advantage of the last night to go to the wild for the last time? Yi Chen murmured. It's just a good time to try the shadow's ability, and save some practice time for emergencies. Yi Chen stood up like a carp, and walked away. Now that Yi Chen has the bonus of shadow, even if it is not revealed, his speed has been greatly improved. Yi Chen found a secluded place outside the city. After making sure there was no one else around, he summoned the shadow and prepared to move forward at full speed. Yi Chen's figure instantly disappeared from the spot, quickly shuttling through the woods like a ghost. He felt the sound of wind passing by his ears, and his heart felt extremely happy. At this moment, he seemed to have become one with nature and became a part of this world. It didn't take long for Yi Chen to arrive outside the city, but he did not summon the shadow immediately. It wasn't dark yet, and it was still too close to the city. With the lessons learned from the past, Yi Chen became more cautious in doing things. Since you have decided to make shadow a second identity, you should not expose any clues from the beginning. Yi Chen looked at the route on the energy storage bracelet and chose a direction he had never been to before. Yi Chen seemed to be clearing up wasteland. After staying for a while, he found out almost all the places near the city. Yi Chen walked and killed all the way, always using the meteorite thunder. Almost all the beasts he encountered were warriors and below, which only gave Yi Chen 2 months of repair time. Finally, Yi Chen walked far enough and the sky became dark. The hunt has begun, and the shadow is possessed. There was a strange smile on Yi Chen's lips. A black mist appeared around Yi Chen, wrapping Yi Chen. The black mist dissipated, and Yi Chen's figure was revealed. The black-robed ghost face, that half-mask looks very ferocious. Although it is only half a picture, it gives people a chilling and gloomy feeling, and there is a horn on the forehead. His body seemed to be surrounded by a mysterious force, and the black mist was like a veil, gently covering him. The black fog dissipated, and his figure gradually emerged, like a ghost coming out of the darkness. His black robe is like a shadow in the night, blending into the surrounding darkness. His ghostly face seemed like an evil ghost coming out of hell, ferocious and terrifying. That half of the mask looked like the face of a demon. Although it was only half a mask, it gave people a chilling and gloomy feeling. There is also a horn on his forehead, like a devil's horn, shining with cold light, making people feel chilly. This horn seems to be his connection with the dark world and a symbol of his strength. Yi Chen felt that when he used shadow, his personality would be affected, and his whole aura would become colder. It felt like an invisible hand was gently plucking the strings deep in his heart, making a deep sound. Yi Chen couldn't tell what was different, he could only find out later. Yi Chen disappeared on the spot. If anyone could see it, they would find a darker shadow constantly moving on the ground. That shadow is Yi Chen. After a while, Yi Chen found his prey. This time, Yi Chen didn't take the initiative to jump out like when he killed the flaming wolf before. That time I wanted to verify my frontal combat ability, and this time I wanted to verify my assassination ability. And the strange beast in front of him was the best target. In the dark shadow, an eye flashed past. Not far away, a black cat-like creature was crawling on the tree, moving forward bit by bit. Its dark eyes stared intently at the white smoke bird. I saw the black cat rushing forward violently, and I couldn't see its movements clearly. I could only vaguely see the afterimage. When its figure appeared again, it had a white smoke bird in its mouth. The strange beast Yi Chen found was not a black cat, but a shadow leopard. Although it did not have the size of a leopard, it was faster. Shadow leopards do not appear during the day. They are home at night. They come out to look for food at night and are the top predators at night. And why the night in the wild is much more dangerous than the day, the role of the shadow leopard cannot be underestimated. The shadow leopard was feasting, and Yi Chen's figure melting into the darkness kept approaching it. Just when Yi Chen was about 10 meters away from the shadow leopard, the shadow leopard suddenly stopped eating, and I stared at the direction of Yi Chen's shadow. Yi Chen was also surprised. He was sure that his movements after blending into the shadow made absolutely no sound. Yi Chen was also confused about how the shadow leopard discovered him, or did he not discover him at all? Yi Chen was a little suspicious, then he changed the direction and approached the shadow leopard. At the same distance of 10 meters, the shadow leopard looked at Yi Chen again. Now Yi Chen was sure that even if he merged into the darkness, the shadow leopard could still sense him. It seems that the ability to blend into darkness is not omnipotent. Yi Chen sighed with emotion. What Yi Chen didn't know was that the reason why the shadow leopards could sense Yi Chen's direction actually relied on their instinct as predators. In fact, the shadow leopard didn't see Yi Chen at all. If he had seen him, he would have taken action and wouldn't just look this way. They rely on a sense similar to the sixth sense, just like when someone is looking at you from behind, you will feel something. It's just that the shadow leopard's ability is much stronger than that of humans. Yi Chen changed direction again, and moved behind the shadow leopard. This time he didn't get closer than 10 meters to it, and stopped when he was almost 10 meters away. Yi Chen's figure slowly emerged from the ground, holding a dagger in both hands. This dagger was not purchased by Yi Chen, but condensed by Yi Chen using shadow. When Yi Chen broke through to the warrior level, he discovered that he could condense his supernatural powers into shape. However, it cannot condense large objects. It is still possible to condense daggers. The strength is not as strong as C-grade alloy, but it is enough. Yi Chen made a gesture to charge up his energy, and rushed forward like a hungry tiger pouncing on food, and cut the shadow leopard's neck with the dagger. In fact, the moment Yi Chen stepped into the 10-meter range, the shadow leopard felt it and turned around immediately. Although his reaction was already very fast, Yi Chen's charged attack was faster. In just the blink of an eye, Yi Chen's attack landed on him. But the shadow leopard is worthy of being the king of the night. Even so, he still made a final struggle, twisting his neck, trying to avoid this fatal blow. Yi Chen's figure flashed past and appeared on the other side. The shadow leopard slowly turned around, and when it turned around, a tiny trace of blood appeared on its neck. It thought it had escaped the blow, and immediately prepared to attack Yi Chen. I saw that when it was preparing to attack, the trace of blood on his neck gradually spread. His head fell directly to the ground, and he did not realize how he died until he died. The dagger in Yi Chen's hand dispersed and he slowly walked towards the body of the shadow leopard. He saw that the incision on the neck was very smooth and there was no gap at all. It seems that the dagger I condensed with the shadow is still very sharp. Yi Chen smiled with satisfaction. In fact, when the shadow leopard twisted its neck to dodge the blow, it looked to the naked eye as if it had dodged it, but in fact it did not. Since the dagger was made by Yi Chen using shadows, it means that the shape and length of the dagger can be changed. The moment the dagger approached the shadow leopard's neck, Yi Chen lengthened the dagger. Just like the light of a sword, it directly chopped off its head. If this move is used well, it is enough to catch the opponent off guard. Ding! Successfully killed the shadow leopard, obtained 3,000 power points, and took 8 months to practice. The system's long-lost sound sounded, and Yi Chen felt that the system's notification sound was the most beautiful sound in the world. The generous reward for killing the shadow leopard also proves that this shadow leopard is not weak in strength and is comparable to the previous masked man. When Yi Chen hit the masked man before, the masked man was seriously injured. Yi Chen tried his best to kill him, but now when faced with the shadow leopard who was comparable to him, he could already kill him instantly. Yi Chen became even more excited after hearing the system prompt. He put away the body of the shadow leopard and then merged into the darkness again to look for the next prey. The next opponents he encountered were not as strong as the shadow leopard, and Yi Chen could kill them all with one hit. What is the most important thing about an assassin? It is concealment and killing with one strike, just like a ghost in the dark night, taking people's lives silently. If Yi Chen wants to truly transform Shadow into a king of assassins, just relying on Shadow's ability is far from enough. At least he hasn't developed any particularly strong combat skills yet, and his speed is only 7 steps. But after the 7-star steps, it is impossible for him to use Shadow. The 7-star step is mainly a step-type combat skill with outstanding dodge ability, but it is not that strong in improving speed and explosive power. I have to find another explosive speed combat technique, Yi Chen thought to himself. But these are all things after the college entrance examination. I will look for it after the college entrance examination. Now I have to practice the tuba first. Yi Chen kept walking through the forest, blending into the darkness, making Yi Chen feel a comfortable feeling. That kind of control over the darkness made Yi Chen want to stop. By the middle of the night, Yi Chen had hunted many strange beasts, and his training time had reached a terrifying 2.5 years. In just the middle of the night, Yi Chen gained so much practice time. At this time, Yi Chen was standing on the top of the tallest tree, looking into the distance, as if he was sensing something. The shadow gave Yi Chen not only the ability to blend into the darkness, but also gave Yi Chen the ability to see at night. Moreover, in the dark, Yi Chen's perception ability is greatly enhanced. Just like a hunter in the dark, he can easily detect the presence of his prey. Yi Chen was seen looking into the distance, and he felt that there seemed to be something in that direction. The next second, Yi Chen disappeared from the top of the tree and fled in that direction. Yi Chen moved forward based on his perception, and soon arrived at the target location. I saw a huge red lizard roaring, and opposite it was an ape with blue lightning all over its body. Why did I encounter 2 strange beasts fighting again, the thunder lizard and the lightning ape? Yi Chen complained. But in the next second, Yi Chen knew why the 2 beasts were fighting. Behind the fire lizard was a dead tree that was broken by lightning. The half of the wood was completely black, with a deep crack in the middle, and it looked lifeless. But the strange thing is that there is something like a Ganoderma lucidum on the half of the dead wood. On the contrary, the Ganoderma lucidum was full of life, with thunder and lightning flashing from time to time. Lei Lingzi. Yi Chen's pupils narrowed. Ever since Yi Chen found a Konoha flower last time, he had carefully read the catalogue of heavenly materials and earthly treasures when he went back. He didn't want to miss it without recognizing it when he encountered it. Yi Chen's memory of Thunder Lingzi is very profound, because it is one of the few thunder-attributed treasures. It will only grow on peach trees that have been struck by lightning. It is not easy to meet this condition, let alone the thunder Ganoderma growing on it. At this time, Yi Chen's eyes were all attracted to Lei Lingzi, as long as he took Lei Lingzi. His cultivation level will probably reach the peak of a martial artist, or even break through to the level of a martial artist. But this is not the most important thing. What is important is that Lei Lingzi also contains extremely pure vitality, the vitality from thunder and lightning, the vitality in destruction. The greatest effect of Lei Lingzi is to improve the physical body. It not only has the effect of healing wounds, but also greatly improves the strength of the physical body. In addition, the attributes of Yi Chen and Lei Lingzi are consistent, and having Lei Lingzi is equivalent to having a second life. If he loses to his opponent in a battle, Lei Lingzi will be Yi Chen's support for his comeback. I must get this Thunder Lingzi, but these two strange beasts are both at the peak level of martial arts masters, and I am only a junior martial artist, so I can only look for opportunities. Yi Chen's eyes that melted into the darkness kept flashing, which all showed that Yi Chen was not at peace at the moment. The lightning ape was the first to attack, holding a mace-like object in his hand, with thunder and lightning flashing from time to time, and smashed it at the thunder salamander's head. The thunder salamander is not simple either. It opens its bloody mouth and spits out hot flames. Yi Chen quickly retreated. The fight between the two alien beasts was very brilliant, mainly due to their ability to glow. Yi Chen had to find a place to hide. If he was photographed, he would be exposed. After a while, the sound of fighting gradually subsided, and Yi Chen went back again. The lightning ape's chest was scorched black, and it must have been hit by the fire lizard's flames. The lightning ape actually only has some thunder and lightning attributes. He can only attach thunder and lightning to his weapons to strengthen his attack. It does not have the speed of thunder and lightning, and its destructive power is far inferior to Yi Chen's heavenly meteor god Thunder. On the other hand, the Thunder Fire Lizard has dual attributes of thunder and fire, and the combined power of thunder and fire bursts is even stronger, so the lightning ape is certainly no match. He saw the lightning ape holding his chest and retreating. Yi Chen thought it was going to leave, but it didn't do that. The lightning ape suddenly made several strange calls, and soon there were some sounds in the distance, as if it was responding to something. The thunder salamander continued to attack. At this time, the lightning ape did not choose to confront the enemy head-on, but instead continued to dodge. Not long after, figures flashing with thunder and lightning appeared on the surrounding trees, all of them lightning apes. It turns out that they were gathering their companions just now, and the one who faced off against the thunder salamander should be their leader. I saw a smaller ape holding a jar in his hand and handing it to the injured lightning ape. The lightning ape grabbed it and drank a few mouthfuls. The wound on its chest began to heal at a speed visible to the naked eye. After a while, he returned to normal, and his aura became much stronger. Is it monkey wine? Such a strong healing effect. Yi Chen was a little confused. After the lightning ape recovered from his injury, he raised the stick and roared several times. I saw the lightning apes on the surrounding trees also making chirping sounds, and they all rushed towards the thunder salamander. The thunder salamander keeps spitting out flames, and lightning flashes on its tail, constantly knocking away the lightning ape that approaches it. The lightning apes that were hit were all bruised and dead. It's all practice time. Yi Chen looked at the corpses and said distressedly. If these lightning apes can be hit by it, I don't know how much training time will be gained. But Yi Chen didn't dare to mix in and do something dirty. If he wasn't careful, he would be discovered. The most important thing now was the Thunder Ganoderma, so don't let the small gain lead to the big loss. But Yi Chen still felt distressed. The leader of the lightning ape saw his men dying continuously, without any fluctuation in his eyes. Some are just indifferent, as if the dead apes are just his disposable pawns. And he himself is a superior chess player, watching everything on the chessboard indifferently. This is the law of the jungle in nature. Under constant consumption, the Thunder Fire Lizard began to lose its strength, and its offensive gradually weakened. The wheel battle was still too taxing on him. At this time, the leader of the lightning ape moved, and he kept waving the stick in his hand and hitting the thunder lizard. The thunder salamander was beaten back and forth, and injuries gradually appeared on its body. The disadvantage of the thunder salamander is that it is not a social creature, unlike the lightning ape, which has a bunch of younger brothers. In terms of one-on-one strength, the lightning ape is invincible to the thunder salamander, but after beating the old master to death with random punches, the thunder salamander couldn't withstand it after all. Even though the thunder salamander's injuries were getting more and more serious, Yi Chen kept holding back and did not take action. This was not the best time yet. The lightning ape is in pretty good shape. Even if he appears and kills the thunder salamander at this time, he will probably be killed by the lightning ape. Finally, the lightning ape launched his strongest attack, and his mace exploded with lightning. It clenched its hands tightly and slammed towards the thunder salamander. At this time, a flash of determination flashed in the eyes of the thunder fire lizard. It opened its mouth and spit out a spiritual core, and then continuously injected source energy into it. I saw that all the source energy was absorbed by the spiritual core, and then a pillar of thunder and fire from the bucket was blasted towards the lightning ape. This is the last blow of the thunder salamander, and this blow has reached the level of a military commander. However, after this blow, the thunder salamander may no longer be able to attack within a few days. In this forest, you have no ability to attack, just like a lamb waiting to be slaughtered, no different from death. I saw the lightning ape being hit by the pillar of thunder and fire, and was smashed away like a piece of rag. I don't know how many trees were broken before it stopped. After a while, the lightning ape was covered in blood and walked toward the thunder fire lizard step by step with a ferocious face. At this moment, Thunder Salamander's eyes were full of despair, and he had no ability to fight back. It didn't expect that its fatal blow would not kill the lightning ape. The lightning ape suddenly spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. It was obvious that the blow had seriously injured him. He quickly picked up the unfinished jar of monkey wine and prepared to drink it. At this moment, Yi Chen moved, and a dark figure appeared behind the lightning ape. It was Yi Chen. Yi Chen suddenly drew out his knife and hit the lightning ape's neck hard, but the decapitation that Yi Chen imagined did not appear. The dagger cut into part of the neck and got stuck, making Yi Chen unable to cut in. The lightning ape was in pain and swiped backwards with its big palm-like hand. Yi Chen secretly thought something was wrong. He couldn't avoid it, so he took the slap and was sent flying. I saw Yi Chen half kneeling on the ground, covering his chest. 2 ribs are broken. I didn't expect it to be like this. He can still launch such a powerful attack, but he was underestimated. Quote, after all, Yi Chen underestimated the strength of the peak martial arts beasts, and also forgot that he had just broken through the martial arts. The leapfrog killing of enemies along the way made Yi Chen somewhat ignore the level gap. Yi Chen stood up. If that's the case, then let's fight, and saw the daggers in Yi Chen's hands disappear. What appeared in his hand again was the spear named Ben Lei. Yi Chen did not cancel the state of shadow possession. It was a bit far away from the city, and it was still night, so there should be no people. Unless it is for some special materials, most hunters will not choose to go out of the city at night. Yi Chen endured the injury and directly used the 7-star step of Dacheng. The 7-star step was greatly improved with the addition of the shadow. Originally, when performing the 7-star step, a star map of the Big Dipper would appear on the soles of Yi Chen's feet. When used while possessed by a shadow, the star map was dyed a strange black color, giving it a strange aura. Lightning Ape still wanted to continue drinking monkey wine, but how could Yi Chen give him this chance? Yi Chen suddenly appeared in front of it and suddenly hit the arm that held up the jar. Lightning Ape is not good at speed, he can't react at all. I saw a purple spear light appearing on the tip of the thunder spear, and one shot directly cut off the lightning ape's arm, and the lightning ape let out a shrill scream. Upon seeing this, some of the surviving lightning apes around them rushed towards Yi Chen. Yi Chen's figure merged into the darkness and disappeared again, and those lightning apes jumped into the air. The eyes of the lightning ape with a broken arm were full of fear. He kept making strange noises and looking around. His men surrounded him and protected him. This is not enough. Yi Chen's voice came from its head. Thunder Dragon breaks the sky. Yi Chen shouted softly. The thunder patterns on Ben Lei suddenly became brighter, and the gun light emitted from the tip of the gun became longer. Ben Lei let out a joyful gunshot, the thunder dragon appeared, and the lightning ape's head exploded like a watermelon. Ding! Successfully killed the lightning ape leader, gained 6,000 power points, and 2 years of training time. The system's voice sounded in Yi Chen's mind. Once the leader died, all that were left were defeated soldiers. Yi Chen killed them all without much effort. Yi Chen looked at the thunder fire lizard. There was a pleading look in the thunder fire lizard's eyes, wanting Yi Chen to let him live. The weak prey on the strong. If you want to blame it, blame this world. Yi Chen sighed and pierced the thunder fire lizard's body without hesitation. Yi Chen would not feel sympathy at this time. Alien beasts were alien beasts, not pets. This is a race war. From another perspective, if Yi Chen begs for mercy, will this thunder lizard let him go? The answer is unknown, but Yi Chen believes it won't be, just like he won't let it go. Ding! Successfully killed the Thunder Fire Lizard, obtained 8,000 power points, 2.5 years of training, and 1 Thunder Fire Crystal. Ha! Has it been shipped? Yi Chen turned his hand, and a fist-sized crystal appeared in his hand. Yi Chen felt that there was powerful energy inside, as well as the aura of destruction. Yi Chen didn't know what this thing was, so he checked it later and put it away. Yi Chen's eyes fell on the Thunder Ganoderma, and with a wave of his hand, he put it into his bracelet along with the half of the lightning strike wood. This lightning strike wood is also a rare treasure and is a material for refining some potions. Yi Chen looked around. There were corpses everywhere, and Yi Chen collected them all. Yi Chen's bracelet has a large space, about 100 cubic meters, but these corpses are almost filling the space of the bracelet. It is enough to see that the Thunder Salamander is so powerful that it killed so many ordinary lightning apes, and in the end it was able to launch such a powerful attack that seriously injured the leader of the lightning apes. Finally, Yi Chen's eyes fell on the half jar of monkey wine. The wine inside was a strange blue color, with blue thunder arcs flashing from time to time. Yi Chen directly picked it up and took a sip. A numbing sensation burst out in Yi Chen's mouth. It's great. The ribs seem to be repairing. It's such a strong effect. Yi Chen did not continue to drink, but put it into his bracelet. The space of the bracelet was a separate and still space, and the preservation effect was very good. Therefore, Yi Chen is not worried about the loss of energy from Lei Ganoderma and monkey wine. That mouthful of monkey wine allowed Yi Chen to recover a lot of the source energy he had consumed before, and there was no major problem with his ribs. This powerful effect moved Yi Chen's heart. There must be more than one tribe in a clan, why don't we go look for it? Yi Chen licked his lips, feeling a little moved. Chapter 51. When Yi Chen was in the dark before, he noticed that when the leader of the lightning apes summoned his men, most of the lightning apes came from the east. That direction was most likely to be the home of the lightning ape. Yi Chen melted into the darkness again and fled to the east. It didn't take long for Yi Chen to find the lightning ape's lair. Most of the remaining monkeys are thin and small, and there are some small monkeys, all of which are old, weak, sick and disabled. Yi Chen searched for a while, but couldn't find the monkey wine. Where is it hidden? I feel like there is no place to hide the wine around here. It would be troublesome if it were buried underground. Yi Chen frowned. There is no way to continue searching like this. Why not let them take me to find it? Yi Chen swaggered directly into the group of apes. A group of lightning apes suddenly panicked when they saw Yi Chen's sudden appearance. Several monkeys saw that Yi Chen was just a person, and they directly attacked Yi Chen. Yi Chen suddenly stamped his feet on the ground, and suddenly powerful air waves mixed with thunder and lightning scattered in all directions, and the lightning apes were directly shocked to death. When the surrounding lightning apes saw this scene, they were immediately frightened and fled in all directions, making chirping sounds. Yi Chen glanced around and picked out a lightning ape that looked a bit old. The next second, Yi Chen appeared in front of it. Yi Chen grabbed its neck and lifted it up easily. The lightning ape kept making harsh and rapid sounds from its mouth. Yi Chen gradually increased the strength of his hand, and the cry of the lightning ape gradually became quieter. It either stopped screaming or couldn't scream anymore. It looked at Yi Chen with pleading eyes, but Yi Chen ignored him. It wasn't until it started to roll its eyes that Yi Chen let go. The lightning ape fell to the ground and kept panting, but it didn't dare to run away at all. He knew that if he ran at this time, he would definitely die. Yi Chen said indifferently, "Take me to find monkey wine." The lightning ape heard Yi Chen's voice and had a blank look in its eyes, not knowing what Yi Chen said. Yi Chen was ashamed and wanted to pretend that he didn't understand. Yi Chen took out the half jar of monkey wine from the storage bracelet, and then pointed at the wine inside. The lightning ape reacted, but his movements were awkward and he didn't want to take Yi Chen with him. Yi Chen circulated his source energy, and purple lightning kept coming out of his hand. Upon seeing this, the lightning monkey quickly pointed in one direction, making a chirping sound with a flattering tone, and looked at Yi Chen with fear in his eyes. Bloody bones. Yi Chen cursed lightly. Then he followed him to a stone wall. Yi Chen had looked here before, but found nothing. Yi Chen glanced at the lightning ape, and the lightning ape quickly pointed to the side. Yi Chen looked where it pointed, and saw a clump of grass. Yi Chen was a little confused, thinking that the lightning ape was playing tricks on him, so he wanted to take action. The lightning ape had already walked over, pushed aside the grass, revealed a hole more than 1 meter high, and then got in. So it's here. No wonder I didn't find it before. It's really hidden. Yi Chen sighed lightly. Yi Chen bent down and followed in. After entering, Yi Chen discovered that this was actually a place where the stone wall had been hollowed out, and there were still traces of chiseling on the wall. There is about 60 square meters inside. Although it is not big, it is already very good to be able to create such a space inside the hard stone wall by relying solely on strength. After Yi Chen came in, the lightning ape stood respectfully behind Yi Chen. Yi Chen glanced around and found several jars in the corner, which should be the brewed monkey wine. Yi Chen went over and put them all into the bracelet. Yi Chen counted them, and there were 9 jars in total. Yi Chen smiled. These 9 altars were worth at least tens of millions, but Yi Chen would definitely not sell them, and they wouldn't even be enough for his own use. I didn't expect that I would gain something like this when I went out at night for the first time. Is this the novice protection period? Yi Chen also relaxed at this moment and said. The lightning ape scratched its head and ears anxiously when it saw Yi Chen taking away all the monkey wine. However, it didn't dare to make a sound, for fear that Yi Chen would make another move. Yi Chen continued to search to see if there were any other good things. There are several glowing stones embedded in the top of this cave, so it's not dark inside. Yi Chen did not take away those stones because they were not valuable and were just ordinary fluorescent ores. Yi Chen noticed that there was actually a smaller cave in this cave, only about 4 or 5 cubic meters in size, with a wine tank inside. Yi Chen took a look at the wine vat and found that there were a lot of fruits and some flowers and plants in it. Yi Chen only knew a few of them, so they probably hadn't brewed the wine yet, but they had already begun to smell like wine. The leader of the lightning ape went to grab the thunder Ganoderma lucidum, maybe just to use it to make wine. Yi Chen didn't take away the semi-finished product, even though he had the skill to brew the gourd. But he doesn't know how to make wine, so why not just leave it here? Maybe there will be a chance to harvest it again in the future. Although Yi Chen only knew a few of the things in this wine vat. But they are all medicinal materials of good value, but they do not reach the level of heavenly materials and earthly treasures. The so-called heavenly materials and earthly treasures only refer to them in general, but only those that are more than 100 years old can be called heavenly materials and earthly treasures. And nothing in this wine vat is 100 years old. But the monkey wine brewed has an effect comparable to the treasures of heaven and earth. I have to say that Lightning Ape is truly gifted in brewing wine. Yi Chen marked this place on the bracelet map, but did not kill the lightning ape leading the way. Save some seeds so that the lightning ape can make wine for himself, right? Yi Chen is not afraid of not eradicating the roots. He believes that even if a strong person emerges from this group, he will definitely be able to defeat him. What Yi Chen has is a system. If he can still be successfully revenged with the system, then Yi Chen will be a real waste. After that, Yi Chen didn't find anything else of value in the cave, and then disappeared directly into the darkness. The lightning ape leading the way looked around when Yi Chen disappeared, but did not dare to leave. He was afraid that Yi Chen was watching him from a place where he couldn't see him, and he would rush out as soon as he moved Yi Chen. Then it stood there until dawn, only then did it confirm that Yi Chen had really left, and then walked out of the cave. But its current expression is very sad at first glance. Even if he is an ape, you can see his sadness. How could I not feel sad when someone took away the monkey wine that my tribe had been brewing for decades? And now, almost all the young members of the Lightning Ape group have been killed by Yi Chen. The only ones left were the old, weak, sick and disabled, as well as some young monkeys. Now all it can hope for is that one of these little monkeys will be talented. Otherwise, their group might simply disappear in this forest. After leaving the cave, Yi Chen did not hunt any more strange beasts, but returned directly according to the bracelet route. The main reason was that it was almost dawn. Yi Chen also basically understood the Shadow's ability, his goal was achieved, and there was a big harvest. The original plan was to go back directly after Zhao Hai delivered the necklace. It seemed that he had to go to the Chu Chamber of Commerce again. Yi Chen's bracelet still contained a bunch of exotic beast materials, although most of them were lightning apes killed by the thunder salamander. But the thing was finally collected by Yi Chen. When Yi Chen returned to the city, he happened to see the sunrise. Yi Chen jumped up to the top of the tree and couldn't bear to miss this last beautiful view. The gentle breeze brought a hint of coolness in the morning. The clouds in the sky were rimmed with gold by the rising sun, and the warm sunshine shone on the masonry of the city wall. Yi Chen knew that he might not come back soon, and would leave the city where he had lived for 18 years. The road ahead may be full of unknowns, but the tranquility and peace of this moment gave him endless courage. Yi Chen didn't return to the city until the sun rose completely. Yi Chen did not go directly to the Chu Chamber of Commerce, but returned to the hotel. It wasn't that he wanted to pack things, he didn't have much to pack, he just wanted to go back and take a shower. Otherwise, when Yi Qingyao goes home wearing these tattered clothes, Yi Qingyao might think that Yi Chen has gone there to seek revenge. After taking a shower, Yi Chen changed into a white shirt and a pair of black trousers, which looked very refreshing. It's just that I feel a little out of place in this station. It doesn't look like a person who has lived here for more than half a month, but like a young man who came to play. System, open the panel. Host, Yi Chen. Realm, Warrior Level 2. Powers, Meteor Divine Thunder S Level, Divine Brewing Gourd S Level, Shadow S Level. Kung Fu, 9 Nether Thunder Ju S Level. Combat Skills, Thunder Dragon Breaking Sky Strike, Small Success, 7 Star Steps, High Success, Instant Shadow, High Success. Power Points, 50,000. Training Time, 7 years and 5 months. I actually have more than 7 years of training time. If I use all of it to level up, I'm afraid I can directly reach the rank of military commander. Yi Chen said with some surprise. Because of the chaos in the scene before, Yi Chen didn't know how much practice time he had gained. I only heard the system prompts ringing continuously in my mind. Yi Chen's original plan was to gain 2 years of training time in case of emergencies, but unexpectedly it tripled. But Yi Chen didn't use it directly to improve his level. Yi Chen had been practicing for less than a month now. Feng Lian only gave him combat skills and exercises, but did not teach him any martial arts knowledge. And the high school Yi Chen attended was not a top school either. His class teacher Yan Sheng is only a martial arts master and can teach ordinary students just fine. Teaching Yi Chen would be a bit difficult for him, so Yi Chen's martial arts knowledge is very lacking. I was almost groping by myself, relying on the system to reach the second level of warrior. So Yi Chen planned to carefully plan his martial arts route after returning, mainly asking Feng Lian. Yi Chen wants to walk the road to martial arts step by step, but don't use your training time arbitrarily, which will cause your state to become empty by then. And Yi Chen doesn't need to explore the path of cultivation on his own. The seniors have already paved the way, so don't make unnecessary efforts to avoid accidents. Moreover, there won't be much time before the college entrance examination after returning home. After the college entrance examination, Yi Chen should go directly to the Magic City. By then the practice should become more clear. After thinking carefully, Yi Chen closed the panel, checked out of the room and went directly to the Chu Chamber of Commerce. Some people on the road looked at Yi Chen with strange looks, including contempt, greed, and curiosity. Just like when Yi Chen came here for the first time, I awakened to the second level when I came here, and now I am a warrior to the second level, which is not bad. Yi Chen didn't pay attention to the looks around him, since he was leaving today anyway. Yi Chen soon arrived at the Chu Chamber of Commerce, and Shui Xiaofan received him. However, Shui Xiaofan's heart fluctuated as he saw Yi Chen tidy up and become as graceful as a tree facing the wind. Sister Shui, I'm looking for Uncle Zhao, you don't have to worry about me. Yi Chen said with a smile. Shui Xiaofan nodded and said nothing. Yi Chen went directly to Zhao Hai's office. Zhao Hai had just come to work and happened to meet him on the stairs. The two went into the office together. The necklace has been made. I said I would send it to you. Why did you come by yourself? Zhao Hai thought Yi Chen was here to get the necklace. Looking at how you are dressed, you are planning to go back today. Zhao Hai looked at Yi Chen. No need to bother, just give me the necklace. I've already checked out the hotel. I'll just come to Uncle Zhao and go back. Yi Chen nodded. But I'm here today not just for the necklace. Yi Chen showed a mysterious expression. Zhao Hai also became interested when he saw this. Oh, do you have any other gifts for me? Yi Chen looked at the space in the office and said with a smile, how about Uncle Zhao find a bigger place for me? I'm afraid it won't fit in this office. It's true. Come on, kid, let's go to the warehouse below. The two of them went directly to an empty warehouse of the Chu Chamber of Commerce. This place is big enough. I want to see what you guys give me. It can't even fit in the office. Yi Chen said nothing. With a wave of his hand, a large number of corpses of strange beasts appeared in front of the two of them. Zhao Hai's eyes widened and he stuttered a bit when he spoke. This is the big thing you are talking about, it is indeed quite big. Uncle Zhao, how do I feel about this thing? Yi Chen said proudly. Okay, it's really a big thing. No, where did you get so many strange beast corpses? You didn't go out of the city last night, did you? Only then did Zhao Hai react. Yi Chen scratched his head in embarrassment and said shyly, I was thinking about the last day. I haven't gone out of the city at night, so I went for a trip. You just went there and got so many things. Zhao Hai's voice increased a bit. It was a fluke. I was lucky. I encountered a group of lightning apes fighting with a thunder lizard, and I took advantage of it. Yi Chen said modestly. Zhao Hai was a little speechless. He seemed to be lucky enough to see so many exotic beast materials, and he also wanted to take advantage of them. The main reason is that Yi Chen has picked up such bargains several times, but it is so easy to pick up bargains. Picking it up once can still be called good luck, but Yi Chen has picked it up several times, so he is not always lucky every time. Originally, Zhao Hai wanted to say a few words to Yi Chen, but he thought about it carefully. Yi Chen's current strength may not be simple, and his worries may be unnecessary, so he didn't say anything. In fact, there was a loophole in what Yi Chen said. How could the lightning monkey and the thunder salamander start a war for no reason? The two were not at the top of the food chain. There must be something that caused the fight. Zhao Hai actually thought about it, but he didn't ask further. Everyone has their own secrets. If Yi Chen is displeased, he will have to pay for it. The strength Yi Chen has shown now is worthy of his direct challenge. What do you plan to do with these things? Zhao Hai asked in a soliciting tone. Uncle Zhao decides. I will leave these things to Uncle Zhao and I will be responsible for collecting the money, ha 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 ha. Yi Chen joked. Okay, I'll have someone come back to appraise and divide it, but it may be a little slower. Don't worry, you won't be short of money. Zhao Hai also said with a smile. No problem, I can rest assured that Uncle Zhao will do things. Okay, they just sent me the necklace, let's go get it. Zhao Hai patted Yi Chen on the shoulder and said. Okay. After a while, the necklace was placed in front of Yi Chen. The emerald green calming stone was like a spring bud. Exuding a vibrant atmosphere, the design style of the necklace is modern, simple yet elegant. How is it? Are you satisfied? Yes, Uncle Zhao's work is really reassuring, I'm very satisfied. Uncle Zhao will deduct the necklace processing fee directly from my material fee. Yi Chen put the box into his bracelet. Yeah, I forgot that you are a rich man now, so I will get more. Zhao Hai joked. Okay, feel free to deduct it. Yi Chen said cheerfully. Yi Chen knew that Zhao Hai was just joking, how could he really deduct the money for materials from him? Now that I have got the necklace, I will leave. My sister will probably be very happy. Thank you to Uncle Zhao for taking care of her during this period. Yi Chen stood up and gave a fist cup salute. Ha 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 ha, okay, then go back and be careful on the road. Uncle Zhao is waiting for your champion wine. Zhao Hai said cheerfully. Okay, I'll lend you Uncle Zhao's auspicious words. Yi Chen said goodbye to Zhao Hai and went downstairs, where he happened to meet Shui Xiaofan. Their eyes met, and both of them were stunned for a moment. Yi Chen was the first to speak. Sister Shui, I'm going back. I happened to run into you, so let's say goodbye. I also told Uncle Zhao to take care of you more. If you encounter anything in the future, just go to him, don't feel embarrassed. Yi Chen smiled and said, if Uncle Zhao can't solve it, you can come to me, but I may not be able to do it. Shui Xiaofan also relaxed a little after hearing Yi Chen's words. She was a little nervous at first, not knowing what to say, but seeing Yi Chen being so generous and calm, it didn't matter. Okay, I won't be polite. Just don't think it's troublesome for me then. Shui Xiaofan also joked. How come? I will definitely help Sister Shui if she needs anything. Then I wish you good luck in martial arts. I also wish Sister Shui success in her work and safety. In this world, living is the best blessing. After saying goodbye to Shui Xiaofan, Yi Chen was a little excited and was finally going back. This was the first time in more than 10 years that he had been separated from his sister for so long. This little girl didn't even take the initiative to contact him, which made Yi Chen a little unhappy. But it was just words. He knew that Yi Qingyao was afraid of disturbing him and causing trouble to him. The two grew up together, and Yi Qingyao is also very sensible. It's just that sometimes Yi Chen still hopes that Yi Qingyao is not so sensible and can show off his temper, ask for things from him, and live a happier life. And now he can make her live a better life, and he will no longer be the poor boy he was before. Soon Yi Chen got in the car and took about 4 or 5 hours to get home. It was already past 3 o'clock when he got home. Yi Chen quietly opened the door. As soon as he entered, he saw Yi Qingyao lying on the sofa in the living room, looking at her mobile phone, and there were a bunch of snacks on the table. It seemed that Xiaonizi was doing well, but she was too careless and didn't react even after she came in. Ahem. Yi Chen deliberately walked behind Yi Qingyao and coughed twice. Ah! Yi Qingyao was so frightened that she jumped up. After taking a closer look, he realized it was Yi Chen. Brother, you're back. Then he pounced directly on Yi Chen. Oh, I've only been away for a few days, and you've gained a lot of weight. It seems like you're living a good life. Yi Chen caught Yi Qingyao and weighed her. No way, I'm not fat. Yi Qingyao pushed Yi Chen away, jumped down, put her hands on her hips and looked away. Okay, not fat, not fat. Yi Chen reached out and scratched her little nose. Yi Chen was still very happy to see that Yi Qingyao was much more cheerful now. Moreover, Yi Qingyao's complexion is much rosier, not as pale as before, and he has finally put on some fat, and is not as thin as before. Yi Qingyao was not an unreasonable person, so she immediately hugged Yi Chen's arm and said, "Brother, tell me if it's dangerous for you to go this time." Okay, let's sit down and say, "I haven't eaten yet, please give me something delicious." Okay, let me tell you, I have learned a lot about ordering takeout now, and I will give you the best food I have ever eaten. When it came to ordering takeout, Yi Qingyao suddenly became excited. It seems that Yi Qingyao has been ordering takeout a lot during this period. Yi Chen shook his head helplessly. You don't have enough money, I won't transfer it to you. That's enough. You gave me 100,000 yuan before. You really think your sister is a pig? She ate 100,000 yuan in just 10 days. Yi Qingyao is like a kitten with fried hair. Ha ha ha, I think it's almost done. I'm giving you 100,000. You can spend it. Don't save. You can buy whatever you want. Your brother, I have money now. Yi Chen raised his head and said proudly. Yi Chen knew that although Yi Qingyao now likes to order takeout, she is still very frugal. How much does it cost to order takeout? Yi Chen wants Yi Qingyao to live a better life. Wow, is it true? How much money do you have now? Yi Qingyao's eyes were shining with little stars, looking like a money-obsessed person. Don't ask, just ask if I have money, I can raise this little pig like you casually. Yi Chen didn't answer. HMPH, if you don't say it, don't say it. I won't order it for you. Hey, okay, I also said I would give you the gift. Since you don't want it, forget it. Yi Chen said with a deliberate sigh. Hey, I'll give you some right away, and give me a gift as well. Yi Qingyao said playfully. After a while, the takeout was delivered, and Yi Qingyao ordered a lot for Yi Chen, raising Yi Chen like a pig. Brother, where is my gift? Seeing Yi Chen enjoying his meal, Yi Qingyao was afraid that Yi Chen would forget it. Here you go. Yi Chen's energy storage bracelet flashed, and a box appeared in his hand. Yi Qingyao took it and immediately opened the box. Wow, what a beautiful necklace. Brother, you are so kind. I'm so glad you didn't give me a call. You haven't contacted me for so many days. I thought you didn't remember me as your brother. Yi Chen deliberately looked unhappy. Oh, I'm not afraid of disturbing my brother. I miss him too, Yi Qingyao said coquettishly. What Yi Chen didn't know was that Yi Qingyao had been preparing to call Yi Chen several times. But she knew that Yi Chen went to the wild, and if something happened to her phone, she would never forgive herself in her life. So after entering Yi Chen's number, she deleted them all again several times. I'll put it on for you. Yi Chen took out the necklace, gently pushed aside Yi Qingyao's long hair, and then put it on her. My sister is so beautiful. Yi Qingyao's snow-white swan neck was embellished with a necklace, which made Yi Qingyao even more elegant. Although Yi Qingyao is only 12 years old, it can already be seen that she is a beauty. When Yi Qingyao heard Yi Chen's praise, she became even more happy. Like a deer, she jumped up and down to look in the mirror. Yi Chen smiled and shook his head, then immersed himself in eating. It was not that there was no delicious food in the station. Yi Chen has been extremely busy, working at 3 a.m. every day, except for the last time he went to Qijin Pavilion for a good meal. Although the ones I eat now are not as nutritious as Qijin Pavilion, they are not bad. At least they are satisfying. After a while, Yi Qingyao came out and said to Yi Chen, "Brother, does this necklace have a name? I feel a lot better after wearing it." "No, why don't we get one?" Yi Chen touched his chin and thought. In fact, this necklace has a name, but Zhao Hai forgot to tell Yi Chen, and Yi Chen also forgot to ask, took the necklace and left. But it doesn't matter anymore, it makes more sense to go one yourself. How about calling me Meng'an? Yi Chen thought for a while and said. Since Yi Qingyao got sick, although she has been sleeping every day, she has never had a good night's sleep, especially at night, when she was tortured to the point of being unable to sleep. Yi Chen chose this name in the hope that Yi Qingyao would have a good sleep, be safe and healthy in the future. Meng'an, this is a good name, let's call it Meng'an. Yi Qingyao knew what his brother meant as soon as he heard it, and his eyes turned into crescents. Yao Yao, try to wear this necklace as much as possible from now on. It has a calming effect and is good for your body. Try not to take it off. Yi Chen warned. Although your illness has healed, the shortfall over the years has not been made up. You still need to rest more. Then I will see if there is any way to make up for the shortfall in your body. Yi Chen felt a little guilty. Yi Chen was too poor before and had no money to treat Yi Qingyao, so he could only buy some cheap medicine to relieve her pain, which could only treat the symptoms but not the root cause. The food was not good either. Yi Qingyao was already sick, and coupled with malnutrition, her body became even weaker. Baicao Niang can only cure diseases and has no effect of making up for the deficiency. But now that Yi Chen has money, he should look for a solution later. There are all kinds of treasures in this world, they have all kinds of effects, and they all have solutions. Really, no wonder I feel a lot more comfortable. I will definitely not take it off. Yi Qingyao said while touching the necklace. Then he asked cautiously, that must be very expensive. It's okay, it's not much money. That's good, that's good. Yi Qingyao breathed a sigh of relief, then picked up a glass of water and took a few sips. It's just over 1 million, it's not bad. Yi Chen said calmly. PFF'd, what, more than 1 million? Before Yi Qingyao drank the water, she sprayed it in Yi Chen's face. Hurry up and take it back. My health will gradually get better. There's no rush now, Yi Qingyao said and was about to take off the necklace. Although Yi Chen transferred 200,000 to her, she knew that Yi Chen might have made some money. If she spends more than 1 million to buy a house, she can still accept it. But spending more than 1 million yuan to buy a necklace made her think it was too wasteful and unnecessary. Yi Chen felt helpless and wiped his face. I told you that your brother can make money now, so don't worry. That's not okay. Spending more than 1 million yuan to buy a necklace is too wasteful. Yi Qingyao took off the necklace and put it in the box with reluctance in her eyes. She really liked this necklace. Yi Chen felt a little distressed and took the necklace and put it on Yi Qingyao again. You have to believe in your brother. Your brother is now earning tens of millions every minute. Just enjoy your life, Yi Chen said softly. But, Yi Qingyao wanted to say something else. Yi Chen directly showed his bracelet, then called up his account and showed the balance to Yi Qingyao. This is more than 40 million, Yi Qingyao said in surprise after counting the zeros for a long time. So, you see your brother didn't lie to you, don't take it off anymore. Yi Qingyao nodded obediently. She thought Yi Chen made more than 1 million in the end, but she didn't expect that he actually made 40 million in a trip to the wild. The money was mainly the money earned from the auction of Konoha flowers and the time when they met the warrior team. The Konoha flowers were sold for 35 million, and there was no commission. You must know that Yi Chen still has a lot of money for exotic beast materials. That pile of materials is worth tens of millions, and they are all warrior-level exotic beasts. The leader of the lightning ape and the thunder lizard were at the martial arts level, and some of the strange beasts had spiritual cores, so Yi Chen was not short of money now. I'm showing it to you. I just hope you don't save money in the future. Your happiness is the most important thing. I'll transfer another 1 million to you and buy whatever you want. Yi Chen knows that Yi Qingyao is not the kind of person who spends money lavishly, but still knows how to save. This is a habit developed through so many years of hard life. So Yi Chen directly transferred 1 million to Yi Qingyao. Adding the previous 200,000, Yi Qingyao had more than 1.1 million on his card, making him a millionaire. Yi Qingyao heard her cell phone ringing with a notification that 1 million had been received, and quickly picked up the phone. Staring at the series of zeros on the screen, and then smiling stupidly, for fear that the money inside would fly away. Yi Chen couldn't help but feel a little funny. Little money fan, come over for dinner, don't just eat nothing. Coming. Yi Qingyao promised, but his eyes never left the phone screen. Yi Chen didn't say anything more, let her be happy, it's rare to have so many small treasury. Yi Chen gave her so much money at once, hoping that she would have the confidence to become more confident in the future. In Yi Chen's concept, he focused on being wealthy. Yi Chen had no sister in his previous life, which made Yi Chen a little regretful. After meeting him in this life, and still being so obedient, Yi Chen naturally wanted to give him the best. After that, Yi Chen left some beiacao stuffing in the refrigerator. Although Yi Qingyao's illness was almost completely cured now, there was no harm in drinking more. You can order something to eat later when you're hungry. I'm going to practice, Yi Chen said as he looked at Yi Qingyao, who had not eaten a few mouthfuls. You can practice without worrying and don't worry about me. Yi Qingyao was still immersed in the joy of harvesting a huge sum of money. After eating, Yi Chen cleaned up and returned to the underground training room. Yi Chen went to the underground training room, took off his wood spirit armor, and put on a loose martial arts uniform. I took a look at the time and saw that it was past 7 o'clock. It was still early enough to make a video call with Feng Lian and learn about how to use the thunder beads. Yi Chen didn't hesitate and dialed Feng Lian's number directly. After a while, Feng Lian answered the phone. Feng Lian on the other end of the phone had fiery red hair and was wearing a silk pajamas, which perfectly outlined her figure. Yi Chen was a little embarrassed and his eyes averted. The last time Feng Lian came to enroll students, she was wearing combat clothes and her hair was tied up, which perfectly covered her figure. Moreover, when Feng Lian brought Yi Chen to the Yi family, Yi Chen only admired Feng Lian for the strong. I just felt that this senior had a hot temper and didn't pay attention to anything else. I didn't expect that Feng Lian would look so good just by changing her clothes. Well, her figure is indeed very hot. Yi Chen blushed a little and said shyly, Senior Feng Lian, I'm sorry, there are some things I want to know from you, so I contacted you in advance. It's okay, what's the matter? I just happened to be back from a mission and still have time. Feng Lian seemed not to notice Yi Chen's shyness and said cheerfully. In fact, it doesn't matter if you know it. Although Yi Chen is very talented, Feng Lian is not bad either. Moreover, Feng Lian was already a martial lord at a young age, and Yi Chen was only at that level. In Feng Lian's heart, Yi Chen was just a talented little brother. It is not easy for anyone to practice martial arts. Even if Yi Chen has S-level powers, it is impossible to cultivate martial arts at home. It's hard to say whether Yi Chen can break through to Wuzun or above in the future. Feng Lian was able to reach the martial master level at such an age, and he knew the experience better than anyone else. She almost died several times, but she was lucky enough to survive and achieve what she has today. I want to ask how to use the thunder beads. I have broken through to the warrior level. Oh, so fast. What level are you at now? Feng Lian raised an eyebrow. Yi Chen was still a little surprised that he could break through to the warrior in such a short time, but not much. In the magical city of Wuhan University, she had seen many people practicing very fast, and some had breakthrough speeds that were faster than Yi Chen. He broke through to the general level in less than half a year, but then he was stuck at the general level, and he didn't break through to the king of martial arts for several years. The 6 months here were not a breakthrough like Yi Chen's, who used his training time, but a real practice day by day. Judging from this speed, it is faster than Yi Chen's normal cultivation. But it was she, Feng Lian, who stood out in the end, so Feng Lian was not surprised when she heard Yi Chen's breakthrough. In her opinion, the one who can keep the speed going all the way and survive to the end is the winner and the real genius. Then you can take the Thunder Pearl directly. You should be able to check these things online. Feng Lian said softly. Yi Chen scratched his head in embarrassment. I also want to ask about other things about cultivation. The teachers in our school may not know as much as the seniors. In fact, Yi Chen had found out how to use thunder beads on the internet before. What he mainly wanted to ask this time was actually about his cultivation route and body training techniques. Okay, just ask. Senior Feng Lian, I feel that my level breakthrough is a little too fast. Is there anything I need to pay attention to when I am a warrior, lay a solid foundation, etc.? I am afraid of what sequelae will be left in the future. If others heard what Yi Chen said, they would definitely think that Yi Chen was in Versailles. Wouldn't it be a good idea to break through quickly? But Feng Lian didn't do this, and looked at Yi Chen with admiration in her eyes. You were right. In fact, ordinary people don't pay so much attention. They only need to break through all the way. After all, with their qualifications, they may not be able to break through King Wu in their lifetime, so they don't need to care about this. But those are ordinary people. For people like you and me who have A-level and S-level abilities, that set is naturally not suitable for us. Although we have good abilities, we only have the qualifications to touch the door. It does not mean that we will definitely be able to break through. Yi Chen suddenly understood. It means that although I have S-level powers now, I only have the possibility of breaking through to the Martial Emperor or above. Is this what you mean? Feng Lian nodded. Yes, my teacher only has A-level powers, but he can still break through to the Martial Emperor, and he is still the strongest among the Martial Emperors. Why it is said that the king of martial arts is the dividing line in cultivation. It is because when you reach the level of a general, this possibility becomes apparent. No matter what level of superpower you are, you may be stuck at the step of breaking through to the king of martial arts. But the possibility mentioned here is only if both of them practice step by step. Of course, the higher the power level, the greater the possibility of breakthrough. For example, if I had a 90% chance of breaking through to the martial king when I was a general, you would have a 99% chance. Feng Lian gave a metaphor. So high. Yi Chen was a little surprised. You underestimate S-level abilities too much. Although there is still the possibility of failure to break through with top-level abilities, there are not many S-level abilities in the world every year. It is good to have double digits a year. Feng Lian was a little helpless. She really thought that S-level abilities were just a piece of cake. Currently, there are no more than 100 humans in the world with S-level powers. Getting back to the subject, the situation above is a situation where everyone practices step by step along the way. But our seniors discovered that if you lay a good foundation when your level is low, it will increase the possibility of your breakthrough. When you are at a low level, continue to compress and temper the source energy in your body, and maximize the source energy you can store at that level. This way you will be more relaxed when you break through to a large level. Then shouldn't I have broken through to the warrior so quickly? Yi Chen regretted a little. It would have been better if he had polished it more during the awakening stage. Seeing that Yi Chen was a little worried, Feng Lian comforted him, don't worry. Only when you break through to the level of a warrior can you truly enter into practice. It doesn't matter if you break through faster during the awakening stage. I have seen many children from aristocratic families break through faster than you. But their foundations are pretty good. Theoretically, polishing during the awakening period can probably increase the probability by 0.5%. This is why I didn't tell you before. And the thunder bead I gave you is for you to use when you are a warrior. After you use it, you will make up for the 0.5% possibility. It doesn't hurt. Yi Chen breathed a sigh of relief. It'll be good if I can make it up. I thought it wouldn't be possible to make it up. Although 0.5% seems to be a small amount, who can tell clearly, what if this will be missing by then? Yi Chen doesn't want to have any regrets in his martial arts journey and wants to be as perfect as possible. Then will I start to continuously compress the source energy in my future cultivation. How to compress it? Yi Chen asked. Originally, I planned to contact you in 2 days, but I didn't expect you to be one step ahead of me. I'll send you something. You can accept it later. Yi Chen said. Soon Yi Chen received the document from Feng Lian. When he clicked to receive it, the words, Forging Iron Method, were displayed on it. Got it. Yi Chen nodded. Is this the iron forging method? Yes, this book on forging iron actually has no grade. If I had to set a grade, it would only be AC grade. Why is it so low? This is something that can increase the chance of breakthrough. Yi Chen was a little confused. In the final analysis, the forging method is just a method of compressing source energy. It cannot be counted among the martial arts and combat skills, so it is normal for the level to be low. It is indeed not very technical. You will know after you practice. Furthermore, there are very few people who practice iron forging. Do you think everyone can practice it? Why don't you practice to increase the chance of practicing? Yi Chen didn't understand. Do you think anyone can practice as fast as you? Feng Lian rolled her eyes at Yi Chen. It would be great if ordinary people can practice step by step until they reach the bottleneck. How can they have time to practice the forging method? The essence of the forging method is a process of continuously compressing source energy. Instead of practicing this, ordinary people should practice more combat skills to achieve greater improvement. Yi Chen scratched his head. So that's it. Oh, by the way, Senior, do you know of any better physical exercises? I want to try them out. Feng Lian couldn't help but look at Yi Chen a few more times. Do you want to train? I feel like I'm quite talented in this area, so I just want to give it a try. Yi Chen didn't tell the truth. In fact, he didn't want to waste his energy drink. Okay, you can try it. I gave you the iron forging method before. If you want a better body training method, you have to pay for it yourself. Although Feng Lian took care of Yi Chen, she had not yet given away resources. It would be nice to have a few words of advice. Let's wait until Yi Chen really becomes the Phantom Thunder Emperor as his disciple. It's natural. I looked at these few books and they are pretty good. I will send them to you when the time comes. Once you have chosen them, tell me and I will buy them for you. If nothing happens, I will hang up. Feng Lian held her face up and lay down lazily on the sofa, said. Okay, then I'll trouble senior sister Feng Lian. Yi Chen said politely. Not long after hanging up the video, Feng Lian sent Yi Chen several training books. It's not that Yi Chen doesn't buy it himself, it's mainly because Yi Chen's permission can only see a part of them all, and Yi Chen doesn't have permission for the truly rare ones. This is mainly to prevent some strategic skills from being learned by others. The shopping mall that Feng Lian can see is what real high-level humans can see. In fact, as long as Yi Chen enrolls in Wuhan University, the magical capital, he can also see more items for sale. The main reason is that when new students enroll, there will be a political review process to find out everything about your family background. Yi Chen opened the file and looked at the exercises carefully. Finally, 3 of them were selected by Yi Chen, namely 9 transformations of the golden body, level A. There are 9 levels in total, 1 level and 1 transformation. When practiced to perfection, the body will be indestructible and invulnerable to all forms of magic. Thunder Fire Body Tempering Art, a level tempering the body through thunder and flames. It will be stronger than the golden body art after completion, but the training process will be a bit painful. Star Body Refining Art, level A. It requires the use of star crystals and uses the power of stars to temper the body. After it is completed, the strength is good and it is not painful. Yi Chen checked the price of the star crystal. It was 100,000 per gram, and one crystal cost about 50 million. Excuse me. Yi Chen's heart trembled when he saw the price. He didn't know how many resources it would cost to practice to great success. Among the 3 exercises, the 9 turns golden body art is the most expensive, the star body refining art is the cheapest, and the thunder fire tempering body art is in the middle. It is also understandable that the hidden price of the star body refining technique should be the highest among the 3. In the end, after comprehensive consideration, Yi Chen chose the thunder fire body tempering technique. In fact, the 9 turns golden body technique is not bad, but the hair will disappear every time it breaks through. When you finally achieve the Dacheng golden body, you will never grow hair again in your life. Although it is said that the less hair a person has, the stronger he is, but Yi Chen still wants to have beautiful hair. It's enough for Mr. Saitama to have one, and he won't get involved. Yi Chen sent the Thunder Fire body tempering technique to Feng Lian and transferred 32 million to Feng Lian. That's right, this Thunder Fire tempering body technique is worth 32 million, which is quite a reasonable price. And the 9 transformation golden body art was worth 45 million. If you suffer a little, you can save more than 10 million. Yi Chen still thinks it's a good deal. Do you really want to buy this book? You have to know that practicing Thunder Fire tempering is not easy, it is very painful. Feng Lian was a little surprised when she saw Yi Chen's reply. Yes, it just so happens that my power is also thunder and lightning. I think this book is more suitable for me. Yi Chen replied. Okay, but I still hope you don't spend too much energy on body training. If it delays your own practice, it will be more than worth the gain. You can control it yourself. Feng Lian warned. Feng Lian didn't directly advise Yi Chen not to practice. After all, everyone's cultivation situation is different. Maybe Yi Chen can really find his own way. How can things about geniuses be viewed with common sense? So Feng Lian did not attack Yi Chen. He believed that Yi Chen had his own judgment, and if he couldn't wait until he came to Shanghai University, he could help Yi Chen over. If something really happens, just spend money to buy a lesson. I've bought it for you. Send me the address and I'll ask him to deliver it to you. Feng Lian replied. Okay. Yi Chen immediately sent his address. Things of this level are classified as top secret and will not be transmitted directly through the network. There will be dedicated personnel to deliver and verify the identity. Moreover, this technique is a consumable. You only have 5 opportunities to learn it, and it will be automatically destroyed after use. Yi Chen opened the virtual network, checked how to use the lightning beads, and then placed an order for the materials needed to absorb the lightning beads. Absorbing the lightning beads is not just a matter of swallowing them. Even if Yi Chen is a warrior, the power of the lightning beads is still too violent and requires some auxiliary materials to help absorb it. Soon Yi Chen placed an order for something worth 1 million yuan. I spent 33 million yuan in one go. It's so useless. Yi Chen felt a little emotional when he saw that there was only 10 million left in his account. I feel like I can start a class on how to get a man to spend tens of millions on me every minute. Yi Chen joked to himself. The body training technique and the materials for absorbing lightning beads will not arrive until tomorrow. Let's start practicing the iron forging technique today. Yi Chen opened the forging method, and a curtain of light appeared in front of Yi Chen. There are only a few thousand words in Forging Iron Method. Yi Chen quickly finished reading it and included it in the system. No wonder it's only sea level. It's really different from ordinary training methods. Yi Chen touched his chin. Try practicing once first, otherwise you won't know what will happen. If you increase the training time randomly, I might be a little overwhelmed. Yi Chen didn't want to faint from pain like before. Yi Chen sat down cross-legged and started practicing according to the records of the exercises. In fact, the method of cultivation is also very simple, which is to condense the source energy into a hammer, and then smash it into your own sea of source energy. It's so direct, it's so violent. Yi Chen's spirit sank to his sea of source energy, which is the location of his dantian. Yi Chen's mental power may be stronger because of his 2 lives, and he can easily see inside. Yi Chen slowly began to condense the hammer, but he was still not very proficient. The condensed hammer is a bit rough, like a piece of wood with a stone tied to it. Ah, why does my hammer feel a little shabby? Yi Chen looked at the hammer with disgust. No matter what, just smash it. Yi Chen directly controlled the hammer to hit his sea of source energy, causing a huge splash of water in the sea of source energy. PFF. Why does it hurt so much? Yi Chen spat out a mouthful of blood and held his stomach. The hammer was smashed apart with one blow. Yi Chen felt that his sea of source energy was about to be smashed open, and his body seemed to be broken into pieces. Fortunately, I didn't use my training time directly, otherwise I'm afraid the sea of source energy would have been smashed. If it was smashed, I would really be a useless person. Yi Chen wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. Yi Chen sat up again, and then looked inside his sea of source energy. He found that the color of the sea of source energy seemed to have become a little darker. It was pure white before, but now it seemed to have a touch of yellow. What Yi Chen didn't know was that it would take a lot of time for others to condense into a hammer. When forging, the intensity will be changed according to your own tolerance, and controlled within the range that you can bear. Unlike Yi Chen, who smashed the hammer away with just one strike, he could really break the sea of source energy by smashing it like this. Yi Chen didn't care whether he could bear it or not. His main focus was to use his strength to break through all kinds of magic and just smash it, and that would be it. However, although his method of starvation cultivation is dangerous, the effects are visible to the naked eye. Yi Chen just hit it with a hammer, spit out a mouthful of blood, condensed the hammer, and then hit it again. It lasted for about 2 hours, and Yi Chen couldn't stand it anymore. Let's go here first today. If we hit it again, we will spit out all the blood. Yi Chen turned pale and asked the robot to clean up. Yi Chen's villa comes with its own home robot, which has some commonly used functions. It is equivalent to a butler robot. It can do everything humans can do. There is no need to worry about intelligent robots taking away human jobs. The number of humans in this world is growing very slowly because of alien beasts. In addition, this planet is extremely large, and humans only occupy a small part of it to survive, so manpower is far from enough. The existence of intelligent robots also supplements human resources to a certain extent. Maybe it will become different in the future. Yi Chen has seen the history of this world. Originally, the civilization of this world was very low, but since the awakening of supernatural powers, the level of civilization has been advancing by leaps and bounds. In just a few hundred years, we have gone from the feudal era to the level of intelligent technology. Nowadays, such intelligent robots can be manufactured, which is enough to illustrate the rapid development of science and technology. Perhaps combat robots can really be created in the future to help humans expand their habitat and protect humans. Yi Chen lay directly on the bed next to him and fell asleep, no longer having any strength. Yi Chen slept until the next morning, which was enough to show how tired Yi Chen was. After waking up the next day, Yi Chen took a look at the state of his sea of energy. He found that the source energy in his sea of source energy became less, but the color became darker. After carefully sensing it, although the amount of source energy has decreased, the intensity has increased a lot. Although the amount is less, I feel stronger. Although Yi Chen's face was not pretty, he showed an excited smile. Early the next morning, the things Yi Chen ordered arrived. The first thing to arrive was the material to absorb the lightning beads. There was no process. Yi Chen signed for it and gave it to Yi Chen. However, the physical training technique that came later took a lot of Yi Chen's time. The delivery person was a martial arts master who not only required Yi Chen's face and fingerprint recognition, but also took Yi Chen's blood. Yi Chen didn't dare to say anything more. After all, he was King Wu. He didn't give the box to Yi Chen until he was finally sure it was correct. Yi Chen also used his bracelet to open the box. Inside was something similar to a USB flash drive. Yi Chen didn't take it and start practicing. He had to go to school today. Yi Chen left a note on the table, telling Yi Qingyao that he had to go out and not to worry. Yi Chen went out and took a taxi directly to school. After arriving at school, he found that the school seemed a little different. A crowd of people gathered at the door early in the morning. They were all new faces that I had never seen before. Have this year's freshmen already started school? That shouldn't be the case. We haven't even taken the college entrance examination yet. Yi Chen scratched his head in confusion. Yi Chen didn't want to join in the fun, so he went back to the classroom first to see what happened if Yan Sheng asked him to come back. Just when Yi Chen was about to squeeze in, someone discovered Yi Chen. Yi Chen, you are here, we can win. Yes, look, it's Yi Chen, he must be here to challenge. Some people who knew Yi Chen said. Challenge, what do you mean? Yi Chen was confused. Yi Chen, you're here, come here quickly. Yan Sheng also spotted Yi Chen in the crowd and shouted quickly. Yi Chen had no choice but to squeeze through the crowd and come to Yan Sheng's side. What's going on, Yan Ban, why are everyone blocking the door? Yi Chen pushed his head over and asked. Before Yan Sheng could speak, a burly man in front of him walked up. Are you the abandoned son of the Yi family from No. 2 middle school who awakened the A-level power? The man was very tall and looked at Yi Chen contemptuously with his head lowered. Uncle, who are you? Let me tell you, beating students in school is against the law. Yi Chen was speechless. Who is this person? He was showing off from the very beginning. What uncle? I'm only 18 years old, as old as you. The burly man was a little anxious. Ah, you're 18, so you do look a little anxious. Yi Chen was really surprised that such a big man, who looked very old, was actually as big as himself. HMPH. I don't want to have a verbal dispute with you. If you are a man, come up and have a fight. If you don't have the ability, get out of here. The man looked livid, turned around and jumped onto a stage. At this time, Yan Sheng said, "This man's name is Wu Kai. He is from number 3 middle school. He has also awakened A-level powers. He came to our arena a week ago to challenge us. Don't we also have people who have awakened A-level, but they haven't won?" Yi Chen was a little puzzled. Yi Rongxuan and Chu Tian from number 2 middle school had all awakened their A-level powers, so they shouldn't be blocked by others. They only awakened his A-level in the 3rd middle school. There are 3 in our school. We weren't afraid of him at first, but you are all here. Yan Sheng was a little helpless. Are they not here? Where did Chu Tian and Yi Rongxuan go? Yi Chen was a little confused. Chu Tian also asked for leave. His father hired a teacher for him and said he would give him one-on-one training. I can't contact him, so I should cut off contact with the outside world. No wonder, I said Fatty hasn't contacted me during this time. It turns out he went to open a small stove. Yi Chen suddenly realized. What about Yi Rongxuan? Yi Rongxuan has transferred to No. 1 middle school, and it is said that when Wu Kailai challenged him, there was a shadow of the Yi family behind him. Yan Sheng was a little helpless. Originally, the largest shareholder of No. 1 middle school was the Yi family. Previously, Yi Rongxuan could only stay in No. 2 middle school because he was not taken seriously. Now that he has awakened his A-level powers, his status in the Yi family has been rising steadily, and he has directly transferred to No. 1 middle school. Then now our No. 2 middle school only has 2 A-level students, Chu Tian and me. Yes, I originally thought that we would have a chance to compete with No. 1 middle school this year, but now it seems that the hope is slim. Who knew that the Yi family would be so cruel? Yan Sheng was a little disappointed. It's okay. If one is missing, his share of resources will be divided between me and Chu Tian. Without him, Yi Rongxuan, our 2nd middle school will kill the 1st middle school this year. Yi Chen patted his chest and comforted Yan Sheng. If you can really make No. 2 middle school better than No. 1 middle school, I will give you all of Yi Rongxuan's resources. Yan Sheng was also infected by Yi Chen's courage and said with a smile. This is what you said, don't go back on it. Yi Chen also said with a smile. Are the students in your number 2 middle school all cowards? Why don't you hang a banner in front of your school and say that No. 2 middle school is not as good as number 3 middle school and they are all cowards? While Yi Chen and Yan Sheng were still chatting, a short boy next to Wu Kai shouted. It's just that, after so many days, there's no one who can fight, so it's better to just admit defeat. In the future, don't call it number 2 middle school. Let's call it number 8 middle school, the 8th of the tortoise. One of our Wu Kai can beat one of your high schools. The people in No. 3 middle school kept shouting and talking more and more excessively. Wu Kai just stood there with his hands folded, enjoying the compliments of these people. The people in No. 2 middle school were full of resentment, and their faces were all red, but they didn't say anything. Because they really couldn't beat them in number 2 middle school had lost for several days. Is he sent by the Yi family to test No. 2 middle school, or is he here to test me? Yi Chen wasn't sure. Yan Ban, let's solve the immediate trouble first. I'll go see what arrogance he has. Yi Chen said to Yan Sheng. Be careful, he awakened an A-level animal transformation power, the earth-shattering giant elephant, which has very strong defense and strength. Yan Sheng warned. Don't worry, I'm going to secure Yi Rongxuan's share of resources. Yi Chen walked straight towards Wu Kai. Since you are so arrogant, how about you let me try to see if you are really as strong as they say? Yi Chen smiled. Is there no one in your number 2 middle school? Send this little guy here. That's right, look at how pale his face is. He's not sick and wants to get involved. Yi Chen practiced the forging method last night and suffered a lot of injuries. His energy and blood were somewhat depleted, and his complexion has not recovered yet. Who are you talking about? This is the awakened A-level super genius in our second middle school. Don't think that you are the only one who has it in the third middle school. Wu Kai is not worthy of holding his shoes in front of senior Yi Chen. When the people from No. 2 middle school saw Yi Chen standing up, they didn't care whether Yi Chen could really beat Wu Kai or not. At least they couldn't lose. You finally dare to fight. Wu Kai stood up and looked at Yi Chen with fiery eyes. It turns out they are here for me. The Yi family really wants to test me. Yi Chen thought to himself. The reason why Wu Kai listened to the Yi family was because the Yi family sponsored Wu Kai's cultivation resources. Wu Kai comes from a poor family, and if he wants to go further in martial arts, it is inevitable to receive funding. The students in No. 3 middle school are all students from poor families. There has not been a single A-level student in so many years, and the school has received very few resources. Wu Kai's challenge to No. 2 middle school was unknown because of the Yi family's order. He also wanted to fight for No. 3 middle school. It's just that the competition is a bit boring. How about we add some bonuses? Yi Chen was not angry because of the provocation from those in No. 3 middle school, and said calmly. What jackpot do you want? How about 1 million? If I lose, I will give you 1 million. If you lose, you don't have to give. Just say loudly here that No. 3 middle school will never be as good as No. 2 middle school. How about saying it 3 times? Yi Chen smiled lightly. Road. Wow, 1 million, what a big deal. Brother Angkor, promise him that the money he brings to his door will not be in vain. The boy next to Wu Kai said excitedly. In his heart, Wu Kai was invincible. No one from Tian or middle school could survive 10 rounds in Wu Kai's hands. In his eyes, Yi Chen looked like a sick man. How could he beat Wu Kai? Wu Kai frowned slightly, hesitated for a moment, and said, okay, it's up to you. The smile on Yi Chen's face was even brighter. He knew that Wu Kai would definitely agree. Even if Wu Kai accepts funding from the Yi family, 1 million is not a small amount for him. Moreover, his own family background is not good. Even with the support of the Yi family, he still needs a lot of cultivation resources. Now that Yi Chen came to his door, how could he not agree? It seemed like it wouldn't matter even if he lost, but what Yi Chen wanted was for him to say that the third grade was not as good as the second grade. When he was away, No. 2 middle school had lost for several days, and its reputation and momentum were suppressed. Now that I have stood up and defeated him, I can't cover up the fact that I lost before. But if Wu Kai lost and said those words, the nature would be different. That means it's not that No. 2 middle school is bad, it's just that the people are not there. There is only one A-level superpower in No. 3 middle school, Wu Kai. Wu Kai represents the entire No. 3 middle school. If he loses, it means No. 3 middle school is not good. In the eyes of the world, if you, Wu Kai, are both in the A-level and lose, it means that the third middle school is not as good as the second middle school. And Yi Chen is not the only A-level player in No. 2 middle school. The previous defeat in No. 2 middle school was just because you, Wu Kai, were not A-level players and you picked a soft persimmon. In this way, the previous impact on No. 2 middle school can be resolved. Okay, then let's fight here. Yi Chen asked. Go over there, there's a ring over there. Wu Kai pointed with his finger. In order to suppress No. 2 middle school, the people from No. 3 middle school specially built a stage at the entrance of No. 2 middle school, hoping that everyone would know the power of No. 3 middle school. In the past few days, due to the deliberate publicity of No. 3 middle school, many people who were not from No. 2 and No. 3 middle school came to watch. That's great. I was just worried about how to make a bigger splash, but I didn't expect it to come to my door. Yi Chen smiled secretly in his heart. Wu Kai half crouched, jumped up, and jumped directly onto the ring, blowing up the dust on the ground. Wu Kai will win. Wu Kai is invincible. Seeing this, the people from No. 3 middle school cheered excitedly. Yi Chen shook his head. It's true that he is a child at heart. He is so flamboyant even on stage. I saw that Yi Chen did not come on stage in a fancy way as the people in No. 2 middle school imagined. Yi Chen walked up the ladder step by step onto the ring. When the people in No. 2 middle school saw this, they were a little disappointed. They didn't see Yi Chen acting cool as they expected. It's hard to get into the ring, so why don't we give you a pair of crutches? The number 3 middle school students became even more arrogant when they saw that Yi Chen was so ungrateful on stage. In their eyes, Yi Chen was destined to lose today, and he had already received 1 million. What Yi Chen wanted was this effect, to make everyone feel that Wu Kai was very strong and would win without a doubt. And he, Yi Chen, is just a sick man, he has no ability and will lose. The two stood on the ring, and the people below also became quiet. Wu Kai took out a pair of copper hammers from his energy storage bracelet, and Yi Chen was not surprised. No matter how you say it, Wu Kai has A-level superpowers. He must have been recommended by the Sifang Martial Arts School. It is normal to have an energy storage bracelet. Yi Chen didn't take out his weapon, he just stood there with a smile, one hand behind his back, and the other hand hooked towards Wu Kai. When Wu Kai saw this, his face suddenly turned red with anger, and then he threw his pair of copper hammers aside. Since you don't use weapons, I won't use them either, lest you won't admit it even if you win. Wu Kai said angrily that what he wanted was to defeat Yi Chen in an upright manner. If you use weapons to defeat Yi Chen who doesn't use weapons, the victory will not be honorable. Is Yi Chen being too trusting? Yan Sheng frowned, a little worried. Yi Chen shook his head helplessly. If he used weapons, Wu Kai might not be able to sustain him for one round. Wu Kai was only awakened to the 5th level, and Yi Chen was a warrior to the 2nd level, how could he possibly defeat him? The main reason is that Yi Chen is afraid that he won't be able to grasp the scale when using the gun. When the time comes, he will kill Wu Kai with one shot and it will be over. He had never held back when hunting exotic beasts in the wild before, and he had always tried his best. Therefore, he was not sure whether Wu Kai could hold on or not, so he did not use weapons. But in Wu Kai's eyes, he was extremely arrogant, but he didn't know that Yi Chen was thinking about his life safety. Wu Kai was the first to take action. His body was covered in earth armor, with only a pair of eyes exposed. This is his specialty combat skill, called earth-splitting armor, which has good defensive power. Wu Kai came to Yi Chen in a few steps and punched Yi Chen in the face. When No. 2 middle school saw this, his heart was in his throat, just when his fist was about to hit Yi Chen. Yi Chen seemed to teleport and took a step to the left, just in time to avoid the punch. Wu Kai's pupils shrank, he didn't see Yi Chen's movements clearly, the punch was empty, he secretly said something bad. His punch was empty, and the left side of his body opened wide. But Yi Chen did not attack, but stood aside and looked at him with a smile. Wu Kai's exposed eyes suddenly turned red, and he raised his fist and hit Yi Chen. Yi Chen kept using 7-star steps to dodge, and from time to time he used his hand to push away Wu Kai's fist. In Wu Kai's opinion, Yi Chen was just teasing him and not fighting him head-on. Don't hide if you can. Wu Kai had already lost his mind. Yi Chen was stunned. He was not playing tricks on Wu Kai just now. He just touched Wu Kai's armor a few times and thought about how much strength he should exert. Okay, since you asked like this, I will satisfy you. Yi Chen stood still. Wu Kai suddenly stamped his feet and rushed towards Yi Chen like a cannonball. Yi Chen still looked calm. This made Wu Kai and the students from No. 3 middle school below very angry. Wu Kai punched Yi Chen on the head. This time Yi Chen did not dodge, only Yi Chen raised his right hand. After firmly catching Wu Kai's punch, a wave of air spread from Yi Chen's back, but Yi Chen did not take a step back. Yi Chen let go of Wu Kai's fist and hit Wu Kai's chest with his palm, causing a flash of lightning to appear. Wu Kai's earth-shattering armor shattered directly, and he received the slap firmly. He flew directly to the edge of the ring and spat out a mouthful of blood. The field was quiet for a few seconds, and then the crowd in No. 2 middle school erupted into a huge roar. Yi Chen is invincible and will definitely win in the second round. On the other hand, the people in No. 3 middle school were completely silent, and their faces looked as if they were dead. No matter how loud they screamed before, they were so quiet now. Yi Chen looked at his right hand and murmured, "My palm thunder feels pretty good." In fact, there is no skill in this move. It just condenses the meteorite thunder in the palm of the hand and then blasts it out. Yi Chen looked at Wu Kai lying on the ground. How about you use a weapon? Wu Kai didn't try to be brave. He knew that there was a big gap between him and Yi Chen. Without weapons, he would have no chance. Wu Kai stood up tremblingly, wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and picked up his pair of copper hammers. Yi Chen still didn't take out his weapon, but Wu Kai didn't say anything this time. He knew that Yi Chen had this strength. You are very strong, but I am not something you can control at will. Wu Kai looked serious, holding both hammers in a posture. Wu Kai did not use the earth-shattering armor this time and directly summoned the earth-shattering giant elephant. Wu Kai's skin turned into thick khaki leather armor, his arms became much thicker, and some earth armor was attached to his palms. Yi Chen looked at Wu Kai and couldn't help laughing. Wu Kai's nose became much thicker due to the possession, and his ears also became much larger. Why doesn't it feel like an elephant, but like a pig? Yi Chen said softly to himself. Although Yi Chen's voice was very small, it was still heard by Wu Kai. The main reason why Wu Kai is like this is because he doesn't have enough control over his abilities. It will be much better if his level is higher. Because of this reason, Wu Kai rarely possessed supernatural powers. Now that he saw Yi Chen laughing at him, he was even more angry. I didn't mean to laugh at you, I didn't. Yi Chen's explanation was a little pale. No need to say more, let's fight. Wu Kai swung his hammers towards Yi Chen. Yi Chen directly used Xiao Cheng's 7-star step, but Wu Kai's double hammer couldn't hit Yi Chen at all. Yan Sheng's pupils shrank when he saw this. Xiao Cheng level combat skills. In just a short time, Yi Chen had cultivated a combat skill to the level of Xiao Cheng. Yi Chen defeated Wu Kai with his previous palm, and Yan Sheng was not as shocked as he was now. He knew that Yi Chen's superpower was the A-level Purple Extreme Thunder, which had very strong attack power. It's normal to be able to break through Wu Kai's earth-shattering armor, which can be regarded as taking advantage of supernatural powers. But the Xiaocheng level combat skills that Yi Chen was displaying at this moment were different. This is not something that just anyone can do. This is not the advantage of superpowers. Yi Chen is a true genius. Yan Sheng was very excited at this moment. He saw in Yi Chen the hope of the rise of No. 2 Middle School. Wu Kai did not have this kind of vision, and some people had never seen Xiaocheng level combat skills in their entire lives. He didn't know how strong Yi Chen's pace was. He thought Yi Chen was just avoiding. Wu Kai used the double hammer. Although it was very powerful, it also consumed a lot of source energy. It didn't take long for Wu Kai to be out of breath from exhaustion. I know I can't beat you. As a last resort, how about we collide head-on? Wu Kai stopped his attack and asked. Okay, one move will determine the outcome. Yi Chen nodded, still holding one hand behind his back and making a gesture of invitation with the other. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.